Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of From Dust. Oh my god, I am so excited. I was just saying, right before we went live, that I'm so excited. It's been 2 weeks. It feels like a bajillion years. Last week, when Saturday rolled around and I was like, oh, I'm playing Tomb Raider, I was like, but I could be playing Dungeon World. So, I am very excited that we are here. Hello, hi everyone, hi chat. Also, wow, y'all are chatty today. I'm here for it. Let's talk for a little bit. Let's get me to a little less manic and more ready to actually run a game. Summer, what have you been up to this week?
Oh man, so last week I actually had off from all of my streams because my sister was coming to see me.
Summer break.
And it was very, very, very strange to not be doing anything. And every single time it rolled right around to 5, I was like, I feel like I should be trapped in my room, but I'm out around people. So this week we've been doing finishing up a bunch of our shows on Off the Table, and I'm getting back in the swing of streams and realizing how much prep I have to do for next session or next season, and just all the things. Just all the things that come with this life that we've chosen for ourselves.
Yeah, for real. I mean, and it's crazy thinking about before I started streaming.
Right.
And I watched roleplay for a long time. I didn't watch Critical Role because it was already a bajillion episodes in by the time anyone told me role-playing games were streaming. And I was like, I don't have the time for that. I can't watch 1,000 hours of D&D. So I watched roleplay, and I watched it, and I was like, this doesn't look that hard. It looks kind of hard, but not that hard. And I would watch JP, who's the showrunner there, talk about it, and he was like, I will produce shows, but I will never GM and produce at the same time. I was like, but really? And then I started streaming, and oh, I get it.
I get it now.
But yeah, you know what? I wouldn't go back for $1 million. Okay, for $1 million probably. But
if somebody was never stream again and I'll give you $1 million, I'd be like, well, bye streaming.
Yeah, $1 million is a lot of money. But in 1,000,000 years, I wouldn't go back to the way it was before. I'm really, there's something to playing and getting to share that with people that is really special. It's every time you talk to someone and you're like, no, you don't understand. I had this really awesome time in D&D, and then you try to explain it and it never works.
No.
It's that, but it actually works.
Yep. It's so good. Yeah.
So good.
I sprint out of this room at the end of every session I'm in, and I run over to my husband. I'm like, listen to this shit, and he has no idea what I'm talking about. / doesn't really care. So I'm just okay, but he listens. That's all that matters.
Well, that's good.
Getting to share it with people live, and then be able to immediately jump in DMs and be like, can you believe? Freaking out is such a different experience, and it's so good.
Yeah, for real. So, but I'm glad to hear that you got to take a week off, because I think so often it's well, streaming isn't real work. Streaming role-playing games isn't real work. It's no, no, you need time off.
It was a very healing week.
Good.
Made me miss it, which is good.
Good.
Good to recharge.
Hell yeah. Jess, what have you been up to? I mean, I know the answer. I know what you've been up to these last 2 weeks, but
destroying people's emotions systematically alongside myself.
Ruining us. Ending friendships.
Well, gosh, there's been a lot of tabletop stuff. There's also been a whole heck of a lot of samurai husbands. For the uninitiated, I stream Hakuoki on my Twitch channel Fridays and Sundays, and we all cry together over all the terrible things that happen and the distinct lack of smooching in a otome game.
So much crying.
Lots of sword fights, lots of samurai, lots of vampires, not as much smooching as everybody was promised.
So much yelling. Yeah, precisely. Look, okay, I'm going to call you out on that, Jess. You specifically said that there was samurai smooching in this game. And I was mildly interested in the samurai smooching, and I was like, you know what? I'm a moderator, Jess is a friend, I'll hang out, it'll be fun, I'll make fun of all of these people who are really invested. No! No, we are romancing Heisuke, okay? This is vitally important, and it is even more important that we get these fucking smooches! And yet, we have now completed the first game, and there have been 0 smooches.
2 handholds.
Fuck.
3.
What more could you want?
Fucking. What more could I want? Summer. Smooches.
I know.
Smooching.
No, I know.
Is
You
what I could
totally know.
want.
You
I
will
know.
get
Yet.
them, I promise.
And
You
oh,
can't promise
yeah.
things like
Empty
that and then never
fucking
follow
promises,
through.
Jess. I'll believe it when I see it with my own 2 eyes at this point.
You will, probably about halfway through the next game. But anyway, as you can see, this is what I have done to the people that have been watching it with me.
Pretty much.
Also, I've also been destroying Dylan's life outside of streaming in my Grimdark D&D dungeon crawler campaign that I've been playing. Baby's first
good.
D&D for a friend of ours.
Mhm.
And that's been turning out very nicely. I'm liking how that's going. I think we've got one more session of that to go. I've
Yeah.
kidnapped Adam into that group as well
This is our relationship.
later. Yeah.
Kidnapping Adam into games.
Pretty much. I was like, so would you like to join as a guest for the stream that I'm running? Oh, would you like to stay forever?
Yes. You can
Look
never
at me
leave.
now. Now I'm on drum dust.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
also my fault actually.
It is.
I just basically go, hey Adam, come here. Yeah.
Good shit. Yeah, I'm really liking your off your Ashen Vanguard stuff.
Yeah.
You've made a really interesting setting, and I'm excited to, because we've been talking a little bit about me maybe running a one shot or something in the setting. I'm excited to toy around with that and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm kind of like it's a playground for playtesting right now, that I might eventually start to stream in, but I want to work out kinks first before we
Yeah.
show the wide world the
Yeah, I
grim
feel
dark.
Especially when it's a setting that you like kind of care about. Like this setting that we're playing in before, I've talked about. I ran a whole D&D campaign in, and I don't know that I would have done that for the first time. Like I don't know that I would have streamed that game.
Yeah.
But now that like I've lived and breathed the setting so much, it's a lot easier for me to answer questions and come up with stuff on the fly. It sort of gets that first few sessions of awkwardness that always happens with a role-playing game out of the way.
Yeah. And you write the source book as you go, kind of.
Yeah. So speaking of kidnapping Adam into stuff, Adam, I saw you hop onto the group for Off Year. What other stuff have you been up to these
I
past 2
did. I'm very excited for that. I'd love to say I did way more exciting stuff in the last 2 weeks, but it's been very mellow. I DM my home game. It's been a very, very peaceful, nice ride, and now I'm about to throw my party into some deep shit, so that's gonna be fun. I painted
Always
some
good.
minis. They're gonna be dealing with you on T, so I painted some of those little sneaky dudes. I want to post them on social media, but my party doesn't know that yet, so... And they don't watch my stream, so I can say whatever I want here. It's not so I'm very excited about that. And I've been wedding planning. Getting married in a couple of weeks, going to Cali.
Huge congrats.
Neat.
The weather here is okay. It's been interesting because like a bunch of the people that I'm friends with are in SoCal, so like LA area, and they're all like, "I'm dying. It's the surface of the sun has fallen to Earth," and I'm sitting here like, I can't see the bay right now. I can't like I can maybe see a mile away from my house through this fog. I don't know what I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
That's right. I always forget you're like way more north.
Yeah. Well, in San Francisco's the Bay Area is interesting because the sort of, I'm gonna nerd out for a second. The geography here is particular in that it's technically a Mediterranean climate, so it's similar to parts of like Greece and Italy. But Mediterranean climates have a specific kind of weather and seasonal patterns that's different from the surrounding areas. So while the rest of California bitches about one form or another of weather, I'm like, yeah, no, it's okay here. I feel like a monster every time.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the temperature, okay? Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, huge congrats for wedding planning.
Thank you.
That's
I'm gonna
Not
die.
small.
I melt in anything over 70 degrees. So. And
I
I
feel
want
it.
to move to Texas, so
Oh,
just turn myself into one big puddle.
Yeah, rest in peace. I mean, it'll be really easy to cosplay oozes, though.
Yeah, make
So
a career out of that.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
Oof.
I hate the heat as well. Like I'm allergic to it. Above 70, same. That's too much for me. So like I joke about the weather being nice in San Francisco, but if I moved anywhere else, I would just immediately die. So
If you came to Phoenix, you would spontaneously combust.
yeah, no, God, I used to be so lucky when I was a lot younger. When I was like in my teens, I didn't sunburn easily at all. Like I wouldn't wear sunscreen and I would tan. I was like, yeah, this is great. This will last forever. And now I'm like, I stand in the sun for 2 hours and I just turn beet red. I'm like, why? Why is this my life? It's not like I got more sun when I was in my teens. That wasn't a thing. I was not less sedentary. But, oh well.
So it goes.
Yeah. Kiana, I hear you had some exciting events earlier today.
Oh god, yeah. No, yeah, my past week has been split between streaming a whole bunch and studying for finals. It's final season for me. I'm done on Monday,
Oh god.
and then I got a month off of school. But it's like I wake up, I study, and then I play games. So that was my day today. Was wake up at 9 a.m. study, and then I did a Pulp Cthulhu game where everything was okay until the last half hour, when my character saw her daughter in an abomination and just broke her mind. It broke her mind. She lost 10 sanity points. She's not good.
Ah.
Yeah,
That's rough.
she's we're leaving her off for 2 weeks, actually longer than that. So I don't know what's happening to her. And then after that,
Can't
I
verify.
went
Was
to,
terrible.
yeah, and after that I went to Cholt for the Encounter Roleplay Meat Grinder event, into which my sweet baby Azamar War Cleric got eaten by a dino. I mean, she kicked some ass, and then she got bitten by what was called the King of Feathers,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and then she went down, and then she got eaten. She didn't heal anybody, because it went from like everyone was fine with kicking ass to oh god, I'm down in about a round.
That's an accurate summary of Tomb of Annihilation. I feel, especially you were what, level 3?
We were level 3.
Level 3
We-
is fucking nasty in Schultz.
Yeah. We started off with thanks to chat, a dire half dragon triceratops.
Oh my god.
What?
Excessive.
What?
Alongside some terrafolk. We got rid of them, and then the King of Feathers and an Ankylosaur showed up, alongside more terrafolk, alongside a or a player allied Stegosaurus, plus another Stegosaurus who was his brother, and they hated each other, and so it was just
What? Was this like Game of Thrones but dinosaurs?
Wow.
I'd watch it.
You know,
yeah.
same. Reboot Dinotopia now. HBO, pick it up.
Oh god.
Yeah. Well, hopefully today will improve for you.
Hopefully today
'cause
will
that sounds
include
like-
less dinosaurs.
That sounds like two rough sessions in a row. Hopefully we don't go to 3.
Well, with Farron, every day's a good day.
Fair, yeah. The dice seem to have had some other ideas for this game so far. Harkening back to last session, so Dylan sounds guilty already. You know, maybe a little bit, yeah. So last session, we saw you in a dungeon, in an Eldrin ruin, which we later found out was beneath the streets of a city called Sanctuary. Moving through, you uncovered some little clues to the past of this place. There was an inscription in Eldrin that Arrow ended up reading after being possessed by a shadow spirit for a short time. That was fine. While you were digging around, you also found a small pocket notebook containing notes on information of various guilds from a couple hundred years ago. And then, you got into some fights with some shadow spirits that went okay, but it all sort of culminated at the end after, I believe it was Farron saw a figure in a hallway, and so the group of you chased after them, tracked them down, cornered them, and it turned out there was this young elfish individual who was probably in their teens as far as elf maturity goes, who ended up being a rogue mage. They attacked you in an attempt to get you to leave. That didn't work out so well. Rydia managed to talk them down, but as he lowered his hands, Arrow took the shot and took him out. That elf, by the way, was Barathon Talandrin, which you will now find in your journal, players. If you look in Dramatis Personae under Unknown Origin, there's an entry for him. And then they recovered an ancient artifact, I believe it was the Death King's Scythe, that once belonged to one of the heroes that is now a god of this setting. And you walked on out of the dungeon, and I think that's where we left off. Does that sound about right? Is there anything I'm skipping other than many bad rolls?
Nope. We're just gonna gloss on by those, I think.
You did bring it up.
Could have
Right
just
there at the end. You could have just not even said that part.
But did I bring it up enough is the question.
Yes.
I need to make it clear just how much experience was earned last session.
We are about to level, most of us.
Yeah.
That's all you needed to say.
So, as you step out of the Eldrun ruins and into the sort of foggy, drizzly, dreary weather of Sanctuary, we see the four of you climbing out of what are those doors? The storm doors for basements, onto the rough cobbled streets. We can maybe hear the sounds of conversation, the clop of hooves on stone, and the four of you are kind of fucked up at this point. You've got blood all over you, a couple of you, and all four of you have singed clothing and scorch marks on your armor and your weapons. And on top of that, speaking of armor and weapons, you're armed to the teeth in the middle of town. So as we see you turn to close these doors, we hear a voice call out, "Oi! You there! What are you doing?" and we see 4 figures in the armor and equipment of the guard of Sanctuary. What do you do?
Turn around and just look at them, very tired and kind of annoyed.
Terribly sorry.
No one's supposed to go in there. And we see now, like, the camera pans, like, pulls back, and we see Sanctuary City Hall over the building above you.
Did we go in through this entrance?
Yes.
Did we just go in for shits and giggles because somebody told us to? Or did we, like, take a job?
If I recall, the prompting for your entering the dungeon was in fact Farron, who had
Okay.
heard that there was this great artifact of Asylum hidden away beneath what I didn't tell you was the City Hall of Sanctuary. Being buds with Gregor, Farron was like, "Hey, can you grab some people to come into this dungeon and take some stuff?" And yeah, that's what happened.
That's fair. It's alright.
The woman addressing you, let me pull up a thing. She looks like a half-elf, and she's pretty young, probably like late teens, maybe early 20s. But the 3 people behind her look much more imposing.
So, Rydia is just kind of leaning her weight on her halberd, trying to look more annoyed than exhausted, really. We went beneath the city to investigate some reports of Eldrin magic.
Of
See if
course,
there was a device down there.
the bloody city's built on the fucking ruins.
Well, of course. There were reports of strange happenings, and we found shadows down there.
You found shadows. She looks back at the group. These plucky little buggers found shadows. Underground?
Yes, shadows that tried to kill us.
I'm sorry. Are you afraid of the dark? And the group
No.
behind her laughs.
Not in the least. You're welcome to go and look yourself, but we did in fact find a few things that needed to be dealt with violently.
Well, look, you're walking around town covered in... Is that blood?
Yes.
It's cool. It's probably our own.
On time.
They put their hands on their weapons. Care about explaining that?
We were attacked down there.
She just said that.
She looks suspiciously at you.
If I am to be frank, my dear guards, we went down there on reports of certain treasures, strange things happening down there. We thought we'd investigate it ourselves. Truly, we thought it would be fine, and then we came across a very dangerous enemy. Not just the shadows, you see, but a rogue magic user.
The 4 look at each other.
He's been dealt with.
And thus, we came back up here with what we found down there, and obviously confirming the reports that we heard.
If you would like, you may ask me a question, Farron. Because it sounds to me like you're speaking frankly with someone.
I am.
So, this is the fun part of Bard is you don't have to roll anything. You just do shit, and I have to say okay.
How can I get you to go away and leave us alone?
Well, if you just forget seeing us. Forget. She points to the sort of basement area. That. Go on your merry way. Be more than happy to forget things myself.
Well, consider it forgotten, my dear.
You, though. She points to you. Who are you working with?
To me?
Yeah. Who you work for? Who do you serve?
Who do I serve? I mean, I consider myself a person of the people. I do what needs to be done. I go around, I cheer people up, I investigate the things, I bring about great crews like this if we need to.
Is that the truth of it?
Generally speaking, yes.
Okay. She tips her head. Come on. The group of them head toward the doors. Oh, you didn't see anything, right?
And Farron does like a little bow. Of course.
She does a salute with the wrong hand, and then the four of them open the doors down to the basement, look down the street, and go inside.
Well then, that was easy.
Gregor is packing a pipe with tobacco at the moment. He's gonna look to the doors and gonna be like, "Wow, can't believe those 4 brave souls went and took care of a rogue maid." Light it up.
Well, that wasn't our goal, was it? We have what we came for. Holding the scythe. Looks comically large.
It's fucking huge.
But Farron just
call it
casually
worth
holding
it.
it.
Let's just get away from this spot. Rydia starts walking.
So I would like to bring up now that you're heading away, that on your way out, you managed to scrounge through some of the side chambers undisturbed and recovered 600 coin from the dungeon. So you're feeling you're pretty good on money right now. You've got some cash to spend. Where do you go from here? Are you heading to your inn? Are you heading somewhere else? What's the plan?
We should probably head to the inn to chill a bit.
Yeah.
And then we have errands, or at least those of us with weapons and armor probably need to get them fixed.
Yeah.
I do believe my armor got slightly melted.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because I ran through fire, as
You're
one does.
You're probably going to have to talk to the church about that.
Yeah. So I might need to make a
house call.
a house call, which is not what you want to.
Yeah. So is the group heading back to the inn then?
Yeah. Need a little
Okay.
nap. Some rest.
So you walk down the street and our camera like crane shots up to see this sprawling city once more. And then we cut to the door of the raunchy goblin swinging open. As the four of you walk in, it's relatively lively. It's probably in the late afternoon at this point, so there are some people who were like morning dock workers and whatnot that are no longer working, that are here and relaxing. There's a warm fire lit at one end of the room, and behind the bar you can see where is... Yeah, you can see a half-elf man who's probably in his early 40s, who with like big shoulders and arms, who's wiping down the counter. And finally, off to another side in a corner there's a group of 4 figures who are, I don't want to say similarly dressed to you, but equipped, right? They all have armor, and they've got like some weapons leaning up against the wall. What would you like to do as you enter?
Farron immediately goes to the bartender. They've probably been in here often enough. Always try to build a rapport with the bartender and the regulars at any given place.
Of course. Farron. Lovely to see you. You look,
I know,
less
I know.
radiant.
Not my best, but, I mean, it's the part of the job, isn't it? A regular for myself and, 3 ales for my friends.
It'll
None
be
for
as you
me.
say.
Please.
I'll take hers.
He waits for a moment to see if there are any other adjustments.
Water.
Nods. Trying to see. I think you can. Let's see. Services. Meals. I think this might count as a meal, effectively. So that'll be a coin for each person. So, as he comes back with a tray of drinks and water, what sort of trouble did the four of you get up to?
Treasure seeking, as one does.
Looks to the enormous scythe that I guess you've leaned up against the bar.
Yup.
I see. Successful, I take it?
Yes, and Farron kind of leans down a little with lowering their voice in a bit of a conspiratorial tone, even though it's not even really. That this belonged to the sanctuary.
Did it now? Interesting. He leans back against sort of like the cabinets behind him, smooths his apron a bit. Strange find.
Well, I'm sure you remember my many tales that I've told here in the walls of this lovely inn. This is certainly a interesting piece of lore,
History.
we should say.
Find anything else?
Well, monsters, dangers, all that other things.
Well, I suppose this calls for celebration. Next round's on the house.
Thank you kindly.
He smiles and nods and goes to help another patron. The group in the corner are sort of eyeing you suspiciously. I'm curious, does anyone know this group? They're a group of mercenaries. Is anyone either familiar with them or have they encountered them before?
Maybe I've rubbed shoulders with these guys once or twice.
Okay, so the group is known as Rolf's Raiders. What is Gregor's relationship to Rolf's Raiders?
Thinking maybe they got like a friendly rivalry, maybe kind of competition.
Okay, all right. So the leader of the group, Rolf Blau, will stand up from the table and walk over, his drink in hand. So, plumbing the depths, huh?
Maybe just a little bit. How you doing, Rolf?
Been better, been worse.
What, work not coming in like usual?
Huh. Works just fine. Just picked up a contract with the Regent today. We're celebrating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bit of
Nods.
bit of preemptive, isn't it?
Cute. You always celebrate beforehand. You don't know who's gonna die.
That's true, but I don't know. I kind of like to earn my celebrations. Just me.
Yeah. Looks at the state of your armor and your equipment. Looks like you earned it today.
Definitely.
He looks back and forth between the other three. I don't want to be rude, Gregor, but what are you doing with people like this?
Well, better looking than those sons of bitches over there.
The group of three at the table, like, hey. And I think let's see, who in particular is going to take.
Who did you offend the most?
Excuse me.
Someone took it really personally.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I was born this way.
I think it was Rima. Rima Brightsong. She's an elf who is young. Don't put those two words together. She is a young elf, probably like 17-ish, who you know of as the physiker of the group. And she's like, "Hey, I can hear you."
All in good jest, elf, young elf.
Yeah. Sure thing, old man. Slumps back in her chair. Drinks a little bit more.
Have our drinks arrived at this point?
Oh yeah, you have your drinks.
Woo.
Yeah, Rydia's just been leaning against the bar quietly, drinking the water and watching all the people.
Gregor's gonna say, you heading out today?
First thing tomorrow. We're giving ourselves some time to recover.
I understand. We're kind of in the same boat.
Looks like you need it.
Yeah. Well, hope things go well. I hate to not get to bother you some more.
He grins a wicked grin. Yeah, you know, if I came around here didn't see your ugly mug, well, I'd have to look in a mirror. Claps you on the shoulder. You ever want any honest work? Hit me up.
Keep it in mind.
Goes back to his table.
Gregor's gonna turn back and grab his ale and be like, "Nice guy."
Would you like a point of experience, or would you like to define a new bond with one of Rolf's raiders, who I'm adding their character sheets to your journal. Boo, 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 boo.
I do want to forge a new bond.
Okay. With whom would that be?
I guess Rolf.
Rolf? Okay. What kind of relationship do you have? Like, what statement would you make about Rolf as your new bond?
Guess I would say that we're always trying to outdo each other.
Okay, so try and make it one-sided, like about Gregor's relationship to Rolf. That way you have some room to resolve that later.
Gotcha.
So you could say, like, I look to one-up Rolf Blau, or I intend to achieve greater heights than something like that.
I like that second one.
Okay. I aim to achieve greater heights than Rolf. Great, I love it.
How low is that bar?
We're
Well,
mercenaries, so
we'll find out. So you have some time to yourselves in the inn. What would you like to get up to?
Do we have rooms here already?
Yeah.
Okay. Rydia's
it
gonna
seems
go
so.
upstairs and get the heck out of this half-melted armor and just put on some normal clothing.
Okay. Okay. What does normal clothing look like for Rydia? What's her casual?
Basically a pretty plain, practical white tunic with a greenish, like foresty green jacket, some leggings, and some boots up to the knee. Good sturdy leather. That's about it.
All right. All right.
And gloves to cover her hands.
Right.
As covering as possible.
Is that what they're for?
You only
I
get
never
like
knew.
chin up.
I think Arrow's gonna chill down in the bar for a while. Probably take one of the unoccupied tables and drink and kind of just look around. People watch, basically.
So are y'all sort of relaxing, or do you want to throw a big party?
If Farron's has anything to say,
Farron
a
will throw
big
the party if you attend.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if a big party is thrown and it happens to be in the room that I'm sitting in, then yes, I am at a big party.
So Farron throws a rave.
what a rave. It's a little more classy, just more drinks. Farron will knock back a couple of his regulars, which is some pretty potent stuff.
All right.
It's like mixed drinks kind of deal where it like looks pretty, but it's
Floofy
it
drinks.
packs a punch. And they're kind of, doing some more light music, less of the ballads or story songs, and more, just the silly ones about, the girl and the knight, who, like, were kind of lovers, but not really, and they got into a fight, and it's all like this whole journey. So it's like this kind of dance music, essentially,
Awesome.
encouraging people, talking to people.
The more visibly drunk that Farron gets, the more Arrow seems to be having a good time. Just like
Awesome.
watching this happen, very quietly watching, but just a slow smile just growing watching Farron be ridiculous.
Well, and I think also as as the evening draws on, more people come in and are like excited that the energy seems to be pretty positive, and this sounds an awful lot to me like you are carousing. So, if you would like, when you return triumphant and throw a big party, spend 100 coins and roll +1 for every extra 100 coins spent. So, how big of a party do you want to throw?
Well, that's definitely a
Farron,
thing.
keep some of the money.
Yeah, Farron knows their limits in terms of like, I'm not gonna do something stupid, in terms of the amount of money I'm spending. My brain's trying to translate, party size to coins.
Right.
We got what, 600 coins out of that venture?
Yeah, you got 600 coins.
Should we each at least keep like 100?
Yeah, we're gonna keep at least 100, if not 200.
That's
So
cool.
Because homegirl right here has no money at all.
Yeah, paladins are usually broke.
Yeah, I also
Paladins
have
are
0
very
coin.
broke. I'm at the
Yeah, so
mercy of the church.
knowing that my party is not as fortunate as I am, in terms of getting money on a regular, we're gonna keep 300.
Okay, so you're gonna spend 100 and then an extra 2. Okay. So that means you can roll carouse with +2.
Well,
Ooh.
that's probably
Mark it.
+2 on top of that.
So 5. Mark XP.
Yep.
So when you fail or when you miss a carouse, you still get to pick one off of the list, but things get really out of hand in a way that I decide. So you get to pick between you befriend a useful NPC, you hear rumors of an opportunity, you gain useful information, or you are not entangled, ensorcelled, or tricked. Pick one.
Let's get info about a new opportunity.
Okay. Well, that has some important ramifications. Rumors of an opportunity. Awesome. I actually have a thing for this. I have a thing. I did GM prep. Yay! Yes. Okay. I'm gonna give you one for free because it's technically free anyway. On the notice board outside of the inn, there's a job listing that you can take a look at. But also, I'm going to roll and see what comes up. Okay. So you hear a rumor. That Luke Cosson has discovered the location of an ancient Eldrin ruin near a lake somewhere. So let me. We'll add this to a handout for you so that you can find it more easily.
Anytime this thing's getting out of hand, Farron's not really watching how much they're drinking. They're not on top of the ball as much as usual.
Yeah, about that. So, you did not pick, you are not entangled, ensorcelled, or tricked. So, you go to bed that evening, shall we say, and something happens that you will find out about when you wake up. In the meantime, what is everyone else up to this evening?
Say at some point, like, Gregor plopped next to Arrow and just kind of started making a running commentary about the show before them. He's just gonna be like, well, they still have all this energy after today.
I have no idea. I've been wondering that since we met them.
How you doing right now?
I'm alright.
Like, alright, or like, not? Right.
I'm alright. Honestly.
I'm just gonna give kind of like a good nod. Be like, yeah, you wanna smoke, kid?
I don't think so, no.
Takes no offense. Kind of chills.
How are you doing?
I mean, I was on fire at one point, but occupational hazard.
Yeah, we were all kind of on fire at one point.
It's been a lot more eventful than I pictured.
I can't shake that feeling. It's like I'm still cold.
Yeah, never had a shadow in me before. Are you feeling any side effect? Anything?
Nothing that some alcohol and sleep can't cure.
Spirit. How do you think Radio's doing?
I don't know. She wandered off pretty quickly.
Let me
She's
get
good at
your
what
let me get your insight on something.
All right.
Why do you think she wanted me to burn that letter?
If I had to take a shot in the dark, it would probably be so. I wasn't gonna laugh. Sorry. So that the person the letter was for would be safe. Being associated with him could condemn them. But that's just my guess.
Very side the holy wheelhouse, I guess.
I hope she's all right.
She'll be. She's tougher than she looks.
She looks pretty tough.
This does something.
I should probably get cleaned up.
Yeah, you stink.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Would you like to go do that? Is that your plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are my normal clothes.
I figured.
I don't have the luxury of just putting on my normal clothes. These are my normal clothes. So I assume like if there's like a place like outside to like wash my clothes or like kind of like rinse off, that's probably what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, I think there's probably a washroom in the inn that you can use. Alternately, if you wanted to, there's probably like a horse trough outside, if you would prefer to like actually be outside.
I mean, he always prefers to be outside if he has the option.
Careful with the public indecency, please.
No, I simply won't be. There's no shame here.
So Arrow goes out to wash his clothes in the horse trough.
I don't get completely naked, everybody. Chill out.
Okay, so we see a sexy shirtless Arrow.
Yes.
Half
dead.
I'm gonna ask about this. What does shirtless Arrow look like? Is he scarred, or is he like just bearing the wounds from today? What is his general?
It's mostly just the wounds from today, except for along like his arm where he draws back, where he's like suffered like a lot of burn from his bow when he was learning. So he has a lot of injuries, like all kind of in the same spot. But other than that, he looks pretty unscathed.
Okay. Rydia, what are you up to? Are you staying in the inn tonight, or are you heading out?
Sorry, there was someone talking to me off screen because they have no respect for my time.
I want to say it's fine, but I feel like emotionally for you it's not fine, so I'm sorry.
It's definitely not fine. Please repeat the question.
Are you staying in the inn tonight, or are you heading out?
Well, first order of business, she was definitely giving herself a good bath to wash off all the dungeoning. And then getting cleaned up and probably gonna go cart that armor to the church and be like, hi, I need some new stuff.
Okay. So I think we see Rydia walking out of the inn. You've got like your armor in a bundle under one arm. You're like still drying out your hair, and you just look over as you step out the front door, and we hear the like loud noise of the common room fall away as the door closes, and we just see Arrow like with his shirt in the horse trough, and we're going to go to our first break.
Yeah.
So we're gonna step away for a couple minutes, and when we come back, we'll get to see that interaction.
Yeah.
So don't
Yep.
go anywhere. Be back soon.
Summer. Already.
Welcome back to episode 2 of From Dust. The four of you have made it back to the inn, and Farron is busy getting punch drunk. I think Gregor might be doing something similar. Meanwhile, outside the inn, we see Rydia, armor under one arm, drying off her hair with the other, and we just see Arrow with his shirt, like, in the horse trough. What do you do?
Theron, Arrow, what are you doing?
Not just me.
I'm washing my shirt.
In the horse trough.
If it's good enough for the horses.
There's a washroom in the inn.
Oh, I know, but it's kind of cramped.
As you wish, then. I'll be back. I need to go and, She kind of wraps the armor with her fist. Get this taken care of.
Do you want me to go with you?
If you feel like going to the church, you're more than welcome. I won't stop you. I don't know how long it'll be. Haven't been back in a while.
It's not that I particularly want to go. I just... Did you want company? Or did you want to go alone?
You don't want to, She kind of awkwardly gestures to the noisy carousing going on in the inn.
Not particularly.
Me neither. I won't argue with the company if you're not interested in that.
He, like, kind of smiles and wrings out his shirt.
Sploosh.
And then just pulls it back on wet.
Lake swoops down onto your shoulder.
Alright, let's go.
Yes. I don't think they'll miss us.
So to get to the Church of the Reformation here in Sanctuary is it's actually quite a walk. It probably takes you about an hour.
Okay.
Let's see, trying to remember locations. The Raunchy Goblin is sort of in like the northeast of the city, and then actually no, because the city is that way, northwest, and the church is over in what used to be sort of the nobles district back before the Reformation, and that is across the river, and so to the east and south a bit. So the two of you have some time walking through the city. You pass through a couple different neighborhoods. You pass through sort of the market district. Over off to your left, to the north, you can sort of see the remains of what was once the Gnomish district, which has now sort of become like a bit of a slums. With it's got these large towers that were constructed by the Eldrin long ago that still stand, which is how you can recognize that district. We see various groups of people like doing like late night business in the market as people are breaking down shop. Probably a few couples going for an evening stroll to get away from family or chaperones or whatever. But all in all, the night here is fairly peaceful. and the weather lightens up as it gets on toward evening, and you can see the stars peeking through about as you cross the bridge over the river. Yes, Summer, it is very romantic.
As we walk together under the starlight, and Rydia glows embarrassingly.
Yes,
Just
which
literally glows.
you
just in
get
case.
you get some looks for that. Like, people don't just glow. Like, that's not a
No.
thing.
No, it's not.
But I think maybe we get some beautiful shots of the sunset. But then after the sun has actually set and it's gotten well into night, we see one of those couples with like the cummerbund and like big ol' hoop skirt dress and all that stuff, walking down the street towards you, and then they like cross the street to get out of the path of the two of you.
Okay.
Rydia will throw her scarf up over her head. Really should have made this errand earlier.
I don't think it's so bad.
You're being very nice, but you don't have to lie.
Why would I lie?
It's strange. People don't just... It's not normal.
No, maybe it's not normal, but it's kind of nice.
She just sort of blinks and pauses like half a beat in her steps. You have a good heart, even if you make some questionable decisions sometimes. You know, I talked that boy down. Maybe hold your fire next time.
Have you ever been attacked by a cougar in the woods?
No, I can't say that I have.
When you are attacked, you fight back. And even when the cougar is clearly beaten, wounded, you don't let it limp off to attack again another day. You finish what you started.
It's a little different with people, Arrow. He was a boy. He had his reasons for what he was doing. I don't doubt that for a second.
His intention was to kill you and me, the others.
Yes, because I was there. Rogue mages don't react well when they see a vested paladin of the church in front of them. And it's no wonder the way they get treated most of the time.
He's still attacked without cause.
Well,
You were at close range. He could have easily changed his mind.
that was a risk I was willing to take.
I wasn't.
Well, done is done, I suppose. With any luck, we might not run into that sort of situation again. Either way, I'm not going to make mention of it when we arrive. Best to keep quiet. Understand?
All right.
Good. She keeps walking.
You arrive at the Church of the Reformation, and it's an odd building, sort of blocky almost, stone structure. It eschews sort of the ornamental splendor of the past Church of the Jawaki, in favor of uniformity and austerity. But as you enter, you hear the familiar sounds of chanting and singing monks, and the door. There's a small vestibule that leads on into a chamber of worship, and then typically personal chambers and whatnot would be kept behind that main hall. And as you enter, you see a group of other paladins. I'm curious if you know them?
How big is the general membership of this location?
So these, I'll tell you right now, these paladins aren't from Sanctuary.
Okay.
Necessarily. And most paladins aren't stationed in a place. Typically, they're given orders to go, you get trained in Two Rivers, where the seat of power in the church is. You get trained in Two Rivers, and then you are sent out by the church to go do various things. Your situation's a little different, because you don't belong to an order of the Hands. You are a knight errant, meaning that you report directly to a member of the clergy instead of being part of an order. But typically, paladins, the church will hear about a thing happening and go send some paladins to deal with it, rather than having paladins stationed at particular places.
Sure. She probably knows them.
Okay, so the group you see is Loris Company. They are a group of paladins of the Order of the Red Hand, which are a sort of an old world order of paladins that are concerned with meting out justice to those who have committed crimes. While that's a thing that any paladin can do, it's what the Order of the Red Hand is meant to do.
It's their specific task.
Yeah, so they often will act as judge, jury, and executioner for various crimes, and they are there to keep the law, whereas other orders might be more responsible for keeping lore or health in a particular area. The Red Hands are pretty much just about killing people.
Cool. Judge, jury, and executioner. They're Judge Dredd. Got it.
Yes. So Loris Company, it's a group of 4 led by Legata Josephine Loris. I'll add her to your journal. And she sees you walk into the chamber and calls out over the sort of low meditative chanting of the room. Errant, what brings you here?
Legata. I'm in need of a bit of repair work. The last mission I was on went a bit awry. She kind of gestures to the bundle of armor.
Did it now?
Well, they can't go as perfectly as we would always like.
She smiles. What did the bishop have you doing this time?
Oh, you know, Eldrin ruins. Seeking out dangerous artifacts, that sort of thing.
What a waste.
Is it? Leaving those things unattended is dangerous, is it not?
Digging around in the tombs of the dead, when the living now are committing unspeakable atrocities, yes, I would call that a waste. Our energy could be better served elsewhere.
Is this going to turn into another recruitment campaign, Legata? You know my answer.
I have a feeling... And she gives you an odd look. I don't... Maybe pity? I have a feeling by now, even were I to propose your admittance to the Cardinals, they wouldn't have it.
I expect not. I'm sure you'll have no shortage of fresh young paladins ready to join your order.
She smiles. She's gonna try and get a look at your armor and judge what happened to it.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lying or keeping things. There's like a deception thing, right? Is that a thing? Or is it not? Would that be under... Maybe it's under Defy Danger? Well, there's using Charm and Social Grace. Yeah.
Could it be a Defy Danger with, like, charisma?
With charisma? I think so, because basically what you're trying to... The danger here is that she will suss out that what happened to your armor was magical.
Sure.
And not like the controlled magic of a Bonds Mage or of the Eldrin.
Sure.
So...
All right. Boop.
Let's see. A 7. Ooh, okay, that's not nothing. That's not nothing. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. I'm gonna give you a worse outcome here.
Okay.
She's not quite gonna pick up that you fought a rogue magus, but she's going to be suspicious, right? She's gonna be able to tell that you're keeping something from her.
Sure.
And you're not being as forthright as perhaps would be expected of a knight of your stature.
Something the matter, Legata?
Is there?
Doesn't seem to be to me.
Very well. The bishop wanted to speak with you.
Understood. I shouldn't waste his time then.
She nods. Turns to the other paladins. Loris Company, move out. And the four of them leave the chamber. And I think the other three like avoid your gaze as they walk past you.
Do I recognize any of them, or was it just her?
Yeah, I think you probably know the whole company. I've gone ahead and added them to your
Okay.
to your journal. The four of them are Josephine Loris, who's in charge. And then there is Thorontor Topshelf. There is Hilda Vaught. And Finadink Silverstein, who is a gnome.
With a name like that, I would hope so. She'll look apologetically to Arrow.
Dropping my dice.
And just kind of nod toward the hall. You would rather wait outside. You're welcome to. I should go speak to the bishop.
All right, I'll be out front.
All right. Feel free to go back if you don't want to wait too long. I don't know how long this will be.
I don't mind waiting.
All right. She'll turn and stride on to where the bishop is.
Meanwhile, back in the Raunchy Goblin. Gregor, you've just watched Farron walk up the stairs with company. What are you up to as the party continues on all on its own? It's not a thing that is maintained at this point. It is a self-feeding monster.
Mm-hmm. Getting a little wild for Gregor at this point. And I'll say he hasn't been, like, he certainly has been drinking, but more so to take the edge off, and he's also a man of sizable appetite. He's been keeping it pretty easy, more so just relaxing after a hard day. Before Farron heads upstairs, Gregor is just gonna take a glance and is simply gonna look over Farron's company.
Okay.
And just is looking to see if Farron has their wits about them enough.
Farron definitely does not have their wits about them.
Okay.
That's, like, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. However, let's see. I think discern realities is for, yeah, when you closely study a situation or a person. So if you want to study Farron's company,
Sure.
you may do so.
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Would I
Farron
roll for
doesn't-
that?
That would be discern realities.
Alright.
Farron's definitely leading one of, people he's with.
All right, you can ask one question off of the list. And you take +1 forward when you act on that information.
Okay. What should I be on the lookout?
What should you be on the lookout for? Ooh, that's a good question. I think you should be on the lookout for the young woman actually on the other side of the room, over by the sort of hall fire, because she's keeping an eye on Farron and Farron's company as they head up the stairs, and you recognize her from earlier today. She's not wearing guard armor anymore. She's wearing sort of loose fit, baggy clothing in blacks and grays. And you actually see the three of her friends throughout the room.
Okay. Otherwise, Farron's company is not setting off any red.
No, he looks fine.
Alright. Well, Gregor was thinking about going and taking a hot soak, but Gregor's just gonna remain right where he is and eat, drink, and be merry, and keep an eye out.
Okay, so you're keeping an eye on the shifty figures in the bar.
Uh-huh.
All right. I would like you to... I think there's a danger here, right? I think the danger is they're going to notice you're doing that. Like, they're going to notice that they've been made and that you're keeping an eye on them. Does that... Are you okay with them knowing that, or do you want to try and hide it?
I'll try to hide. I won't
Okay.
be heartbroken if I'm out of bed.
Alright, so that sounds to me like acting despite an imminent threat of these four rogues. But with charm and social grace, does that sound about right?
Sure.
So that'd be defy danger with charisma.
Okay. It's not my dump stat.
You got an 8. Okay, so that's a mixed success. You will stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. I'm going to give you an option here. You can be nonchalant, and they won't notice that you're onto them. but you're going to lose track of one of them, or you can let them. You can keep an eye on all 4 of them, and they will know.
Given that they seem so very intent on Farron, I'm gonna start off being nonchalant, but then as soon as my eyes meet on the leader there, I'm just gonna keep looking at her.
She, she's smiling, she's enjoying the party, and then she locks eyes with you, and then the smile just drains from her face. She rolls her eyes, comes and sits down, kicks her feet up onto the table. Hi.
Hi there, did your, dungeon delve go well?
Didn't find quite what we were looking for, unfortunately. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
I don't know, there's a lot going on down there. Shadows told you about that. Rogue mages, it's feeling a little fuzzy, honestly. Put the pounding back drinks.
Right. Are you actually trying to keep anything from her, or are you just being coy and a pain in the ass?
I'm being a pain.
Okay.
Gregor just having.
Right. Of course. Well, you think of something. Don't hesitate to holler.
Holler I shall.
You just here for some exploration? Or?
You know. See what the good news is. See what opportunities lie for me and my merry misfits here.
First time riding a grave?
Well, define raiding.
Going in, taking things. Things maybe belong to someone else. Not no more.
I don't know. Anything I saw in there seemed pretty unattached.
She smiles. Like the way you think?
I don't hear that often.
Happy to oblige. Looking for more work?
Always.
She looks over her shoulder at the other 3. Ask around. Probably find something. But if you want the good work that pays real coin, you saunter on into the Gnomish district. Make a little bit of noise. Ask for the inevitable. Might have some use for you.
Well, there's one thing I'm good at doing. It's making a little noise.
She smiles. It's pleasure to meet you. She holds out her hand. Regina Irian.
Gregor Whitbread. No, never had a good solid shake.
And you can notice on her hand she has a ring, and as she holds out the hand to shake with her palm up, so you can see she's got the ring turned inward, but since it's palm up, you can see the symbol. And it's like a silver ring with an enamel Black Hand, which Black Hand is slang for thieves and assassins. So she'll give your hand a good shake. You enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, you and your buddies as well.
Sure we will. She gestures to the other three, and they leave the common area. Back in the church, Rydia, you've headed back into one of the back chambers. There's a room, probably like, I don't know. This isn't D&D. It's big enough to hold a couple people.
It's a room.
Yeah, in the center is a geometric stone, like obelisk almost, maybe more of a podium. Comes up to, chest height almost, like a bit above waist height. And around the top, you see that same ghostly green-blue glow in a ring. Set maybe an inch beneath the top of the obelisk, and floating over the obelisk at the moment is there's like a ghostly circular image of a man that you know, who was it Bishop Kavanaugh? He is back in Two Rivers, but you're communicating via this device. Lydia.
Bishop?
I've been trying to contact you for some time now.
Have you?
I have.
What can I help with?
We'll come to that. What has kept you from the church?
Work? Doesn't really end. One rumor leads into another, and so I chase them.
I worry when you go so long between visits.
I'm not a child, with all due respect. I can manage on my own, I think, in the world.
I worry less for your health and more for your soul, Lydia.
I managed to take decent care of that, too. Surprising as that may be.
The hidden paths of this world are dark, and while they may contain secrets and knowledge, they also contain moral traps.
Yes, but I think I've come to that well prepared. The worst is already past.
What have you found? You see him sit back in his chair.
She'll produce, she'll take the little bag off her waist and produce that stone that she took from the mage. Yes.
Have you touched it?
Not with my hands.
Good. Leave it with the deacon at the church. He will see it is disposed of properly.
Of course. It's been used. I found it on someone else. If that matters.
Does the possessor still breathe?
No.
Then it matters not.
As you say. She puts it away. I have found no answers.
Perhaps it would be good for you to take a bit of a rest. and cast your gaze elsewhere.
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
You are not the only one I have had trouble communicating with this past month. The Rookdale Abbey, to the west, has ceased all communication. I would ask that you investigate.
How long ago was this?
But 3 weeks.
Could there be some malfunction, some shift in their tools?
By now they would have sent word to another church. By messenger, I have begun to fear the worst.
All right. I will make my way in that direction as soon as I am able.
I would ask that you make haste, if able. When last we spoke, they were concerned of a fallow harvest.
That seems unfortunate,
It does.
but not unusual by itself.
By itself, no. But without contact, there's no knowing what has happened to them, if they require aid.
All right.
Please, Rydia, you are my eyes, my hand out there.
Of course. I'll see to it. Well then, if there's nothing else.
Is there?
Well, I do need to get my armor sorted out, reissued. Walking through fire is apparently bad for your health.
Walking through fire.
Yes, but those that I was with were still in there, and I had to make sure they were all right.
This sounds to me like a defy danger.
Sure.
Because like the power structure here is he can press you as long as he wants. Right?
Sure.
So mentioning fire has got him at least a little
It's
curious.
like-
It's gonna take some social sleight of hand to
Yeah.
get his
Please,
attention
please
elsewhere.
explain this fire thing.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean,
Please mark experience.
yay. I mean, this is what happens when you try to lie to your grandparents, basically.
Yeah. When you lie to church dad, he notices. You speak of walking through fire. Please elucidate me.
Well,
She kind of gestures to the stone again.
I told you that this came from the hand of another, yes?
Indeed.
I have seen what he did with it. And he no longer breathes.
Was it the device?
I don't know. Perhaps he was using it to empower his abilities?
So he had magic then.
Well, he certainly didn't like me when we tried to press for answers.
You have done well, Rydia.
Have I?
You have. Speak to the deacon. Relinquish the stone and your armor. You will be issued a replacement immediately, along with a 200 coin bounty for the
Of
mage.
course. Thank you, Bishop.
Walk in the light.
Walk in the light.
And the apparition sort of flickers and fades. into mist.
Yeah. So she'll stand there for a moment, collect herself, and then turn and make her way to go do the reporting in tasks.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So your armor will be replaced with armor that is in repair. They'll take the no stone from you unless you attempt to conceal that, and you'll be issued a pouch with 200 coin in it. And you can hop on out of the church. Arrow, outside, this section of the city is pretty quiet. It's shifted a lot now that the city is what it is. But the individuals who held power before the Reformation, those of them that survived the unrest that followed, still keep their homes here. So it's quiet. It is a place of large houses, and even though it has expanded, that really only reflects an expanding upper class, not any lift of the lower class. But as the night draws on, probably some 45 minutes later, if you stick around, Rydia will come out the front of the church.
Yeah, he's just leaning up against the side of the church, kind of just looking up at the sky.
So Rydia will emerge, new armor bundled up under her arms.
Well, that's done. Shall we head back?
Sounds good to me.
Oh,
And she'll take a moment and put out her hand and hand him 100 coins.
for the good work of dealing with a rogue magus.
I can't take this.
Take it.
Yeah, he'll slip it into his bag.
All right.
And we walk on.
I think we're gonna move ahead to the next morning. Those of you with enough XP can start thinking about the level up move. And Farron the Fair Alfrier, you wake up sprawled halfway across your bed with someone. And you look blearily around your room and blink. Everything looks to be, I wouldn't say in order, but present. But right next to the scythe, where it's leaning up against the wall, there's a small note pinned to the wall with a dagger. And it says, "You keep good company." And that's it. And with that, we are going to go to our second break, and come back to some leveling, I believe, and figure out their plans now that they've had some drink and some rest. So, see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to episode 2 of From Dust. Those of you who are resting tonight, which, despite perhaps allusions to the contrary, includes Farron. When you settle into rest, you can consume a ration. If you're somewhere dangerous, you're not, so we ignore that. If you have enough XP, you may level up. And I believe both Arrow and Rydia are leveling up, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, or I guess before that, when you wake up, and all of you have a few hours of uninterrupted sleep, so you wake up fine, you can heal damage equal to half of your max HP. Is anyone still injured after that?
Equal to
feel like
half of our
everyone's
max?
Yeah.
No, I think that's plenty for me to
Okay.
get back to full.
Then for the two of you who have leveled, you get to subtract 8 from your current XP, increase your level by 1, choose a new advanced move, and increase one of your stats. Which stats did... Summer, which stat did you increase?
I increased my constitution.
Cool. And so you boosted your HP by 1, right?
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. And then Jess, what stat did you increase?
I'm boosting my wisdom because I should. Because
Okay.
of the thing I'm gonna take.
Okay. What's that put your wisdom at? I'm curious.
My mod is a nice solid 0.
Oof. Okay.
Incredible.
So do you have a 10? What's your
I have
what's
a
your
9.
a 9?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take some levels.
Yeah.
Okay. And moves. Arrow. What did you pick for arrow?
I'm taking half elven.
Hell yes.
Yeah, so basically that means that I get to, well, I'll just read from it. How's that? Somewhere in your lineage lies mixed blood, and it begins to show its presence. You gain the elf starting move if you took human, or vice versa. So I'm taking the human starting move, which is when you make camp in a dungeon or city, you don't need to consume a ration. So now I have that one along with the elf starting move.
Heck yeah. And then Rydia, you picked...
I am taking Divine Favor. Dedicate yourself to a deity. We'll worry about that in a minute. You gain the commune and cast a spell cleric moves. Treat yourself as a cleric of level 1 for using the spells, and every time you gain a level thereafter, you increase your effective cleric level by 1.
Awesome. Which god is Rydia dedicating herself to?
Let's see. I remember all of them completely.
Of course you do.
I am definitely
also
not looking
remember
at
all of them. That is fine. Yeah, so there's the Death King, he whose face is ever shifting, there's Severin, and there is Luki the Guardian.
Yeah, and they each stand for things?
They do. So I mean the Death King is the god of death.
Wow. Really?
I mean, yeah, yep, yes. He is the Day of Death, and then there's who else? He whose face is ever shifting.
Sounds shifty.
He is, interestingly, so that would be Tyranny, the Day of Change. Is often a day of sort of beginnings. Is the day of the week that is associated with him. But as a god, he wears many faces so that he can help many people. He's sort of a god of some level of mystery, but more importantly of kindness and aid. Severin, whose symbol is the drama mask, and whose day is the day of calm. He is sort of like a champion of the people. He's an interesting member of the asylum in that he died before they ascended to godhood, but he's a god of merriment, but also of like of trust and of like bonds of kinship and camaraderie. And then finally, Luki the Guardian is pretty much what it says on the package. It's a guard of defending things, but most importantly, defending hidden and dangerous things. It is said in the legends that Luki still exists in the world, guarding something too dark for the mortals to know.
Cool. I would say Either He Whose Face is Ever Shifting or Luki the Guardian sound appropriate. Probably He Whose Face is Ever Shifting is closer to her mode of operation.
Okay. Interesting. Yes. All right.
Don't say things like that.
Paladin only on the package, my friends.
Yeah, more so with that choice. Okay. Okay, good to know. You may spend your time communing with He Whose Face is Ever Shifting. I think since your relationship is new, there's not a whole lot of talking back to you that happens. But we'll see that in a moment. I want to know, Farron. So you woke up to this. What is your reaction waking up in the morning to this note and dagger on your wall?
He probably just kind of like pulls the dagger out,
Okay.
kind of examines the note. Huh. Shrugs, kind of flips the dagger into his own pack.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and
Wait, no.
add a dagger. You can
Free
Wait,
dagger.
no.
that. Yeah.
Yep. And kind of like studies the note a little more. Is there any sign as to who this may have come from? Is there any, particular note, like?
I think it says just like signed, initialed T.I.
Okay. Kind of. There's somebody still in bed. Still in bed. If she.
Yeah,
she's
he
popping
like
up.
groans. What? And I think we can cut over to Rydia. Yeah. So what is communing with He Whose Face is Ever Shifting look like for Rydia?
Are there like what's the manner in which these gods tend to be honored? Are there statues? Are there holy symbols? Or like is there stuff around?
Typically you will have like a symbol, right? There's a symbol that you will hold and worship to, or on holy days there are specific offerings based on whose day lands on the holy day. So for He Whose Face is Ever Shifting, the symbol is a sort of featureless face made of pewter, and the offering on holy days would be silver.
Is it the holy day?
I think not today. You can always you can offer regardless, but it's like when a holiday falls on a specific day of the week, then that holiday gets flavored slightly differently depending on whose day it is.
She will probably find a place to make an offering and just leave a few coins, a few flowers,
Okay.
and just sit quietly.
So we see you sitting, maybe meditating?
Yeah, not really prayer, more like sitting and meditating and just finding her calm.
And you've got an altar set up in your room, where you've stacked these coins and these flowers, and you feel sort of a whisper at the back of your mind, and a cold sensation, like laying in a creek, as this washes over you, passes through your body, and when you open your eyes, you feel rejuvenated, and there's this core of shifting energy inside your chest, and on the altar now, all that's left are the flowers that have now wilted.
She'll take those and kind of press them inside of a journal that she's got on hand. Tuck it away. Well, that's first. And get dressed and go about the day.
All right. So I think we can see the four of you meet up. Actually, I want to do a thing with Arrow. Arrow. So we see you wake up. Where are you? Are you in a room, or are you too elf for that?
I think I'm too elf for that.
Where does Arrow sleep?
I imagine he wouldn't have gone far from the inn just because he doesn't want to leave his friends alone, but he would have looked for like a grassy spot.
Like a park.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere nice. Somewhere that he could like see trees but also see the sky.
Mm-hmm. It's summer right now, so like the leaves haven't fully turned, but the grass is starting to dry in the park. But as you awake and you move to, there's sort of like a pond nearby that you can refresh yourself in. You look at your reflection and something seems different. Maybe you can't quite put your finger on it, but it's like you're looking at somebody, like you're looking at a sibling, almost, right? Like they look like you, but not quite. How do you react to that?
I think just stares in the water for a little bit and then kind of brushes it off like it's because it's an unstable reflection. Like it's not a pure reflection of him. He's like, oh, it's the water. And kind of ignores it. Like it's an unsettling feeling, like seeing someone else's face essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, oh, it's just the movement of the water that's making me think something's off.
Okay. So we see, I think, the three of the party, Rydia, Gregor, and Farron, sitting at a table in the common area as Arrow walks in the front door. And the three of you maybe can tell as well that Arrow's looking just a bit different from usual today. I guess Farron probably would notice, because Farron's an elf and also just sort of an observant person. Arrow's ears are shorter and more rounded than they were the day before. Not by a lot, but by enough.
Arrow, have you done something with your hair recently?
I slept in the grass.
Well, I have to say it looks different, but nice. Not to say that you don't look nice all the time.
Thank you.
Farron doesn't say anything but the ears. Puts it in their head. Doesn't mention it.
Let's tuck that away for later.
Yeah, he like kind of runs a hand through his hair like so self-consciously. So I guess everybody's looking at my hair now.
It's fine, you look the same. Lydia goes back to eating her breakfast.
That makes me feel good. Someone says I look nice and it's like, no, you don't look nice. You just look the same as you always do. Yeah, he'll sit down.
Okay.
Quiet now.
Farron sounded like they were lying, okay? To Rydia's ears.
Farron does not lie when it comes to these things. Just trying to not bring attention to other things.
Farron doesn't lie about people looking good, okay? Let's let's be clear about that.
He is a beautiful boy.
So you have some options. I'm actually gonna, for the very first time on the show, I'm gonna move us to the other screen in OBS. Go ahead and drop you as players over onto the map, and open that up for the viewers. Just boop. Let's move you over to Sanctuary. Any year now, roll 20. Did the rest of y'all move to Sanctuary on the map? Okay. It's just Firefox being dumb. Not Two Rivers. There we go. Sanctuary. There we are. So, you are currently in Sanctuary, and you have uncovered a couple possible threads to follow. So let me pop this handout open for you. So you have the rumor from Farron philandering. You have the notice board, and then you have the mission from Bishop Kavanaugh. What are you feeling? How do you discuss your next step as a group?
I think Rydia would have told the group about her orders. That's basically what they were, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of put that out there.
Well, I suppose it depends on what our focus for our next little jaunt would be. There's one where, obviously, your obligations and duty is a higher cause, dear Rydia. So, of course, that is of high importance. However, there is that one job on the notice board to the get some coin. And of course, if we want to look a little more into the Elgin, there's another one. So, depends on what you're interested in.
I don't know that it necessarily does, at least not for me. I was given orders, and they are somewhat urgent. You're not obligated to come.
And just have you wander off and do this on your own?
I've been doing so for a few years now, and I've survived just fine so far.
Well, you may have survived in the past just fine, but isn't it better to have more of a cushioning?
She just raises her eyebrow and blinks and doesn't smile, and then goes back to eating her breakfast.
Fair don't seem bothered by that. What about you, Arrow, Gregor, dear? Any ideas, thoughts?
Gregor's gonna be kind of like distracted for a second and be like, Rydia, that business sounds real urgent. Like, no argument. I think we should take care of that first.
They are orders by the church. I can't guarantee that she'll pay you if you come along.
I mean,
I am obligated and you are not.
I'm sure we'll find some worthwhile.
It's a little concerning, though.
What is?
Reports of crops going fallow, and then they're completely disconnected for 3 weeks following on.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
Seems a little dangerous.
Then we should all go together.
I won't stop you.
And hey, afterwards, we'll be the guys that stop that whole crop disaster thing. Like, that's gotta count for something.
Reputation is important.
Mm. Mm.
Is Rookdale like a podunk little place, or do they have money?
I mean, I think it's probably a pretty small town.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Actually, there's a thing we can do here. There's a move. When you consult your accumulated knowledge, right? So I think that would be a spout lore. If that sounds about right to you.
Sure. Let's watch me fail to know anything about the world I've been traveling in because the dice will fuck me. I know how this goes.
Ah, you got an 8. All right. So the GM will only tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful.
Okay.
What is something interesting? Oh, the Rookdale Abbey stood before the Reformation.
Okay. So it's super old.
And I'm gonna ask you how you know this. How do you know that particular piece of information about Rookdale?
It's far to the west.
It is to the west, yes. Probably a couple days.
All right. She's been traveling enough. I'd say she's probably been there, or at least been in the area
Okay.
enough to have talked to the locals, if not actually seen it herself.
All right. That makes sense. Alrighty then. You continue with your breakfast. No one disturbs you today. It's the common area is pretty quiet. It's a what day of the week do we want it to be? It's a really easy way to do this, and that's roll a d8. Today is open up that thing. Ooh. It's a good day for you, Rydia. It is Tyridi, the day of change. So, it is essentially the first day of the week, which is also associated with he whose face is ever shifting, or whatever it is.
No wonder the communing actually did something.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with your Tyridi? All of you. What's your plan? Like, have you been doing enough jobs together that you have like a formula that you follow when you're getting ready to go do something else, or is this just like you're sitting there awkwardly at the breakfast table going like, cool, so we're gonna do that thing. Who's gonna get food?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit like nobody has like a set role yet of the things that they do. It's kind of like we just go around the table and somebody's like, I guess I'll do that.
Also, it seems like we may have like not actually been together as a foursome before this.
Yeah.
Since it sounds like Gregor was our uniting, our linchpin character here who knows everybody.
Right.
So, like, Gregor and Rydia probably have a pattern when they've traveled as a duo. Arrow and Gregor have traveled as a duo and have a pattern. And Farron and Gregor have traveled as a duo and have a pattern.
I'd actually like to think Gregor and Arrow have no pattern. I like.
Yeah.
They just do whatever and it somehow works.
And we made it out alive and cool.
It's.
I mean, I feel like
And
definitely
hey,
once.
this kid can shoot. Sweet.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, there
both
was
of
definitely
you...
one time where they both got food and one time where neither of them got food.
Right. Well, because both of you are trying to one-up each other the whole fucking time.
They're in the middle of nowhere and it's like, oh, let's get our rash. Wait, I thought. Did you?
You brought the rations, right? Here's how traveling works, so you can think about how to prepare if you want to spend any money before leaving Sanctuary. When you travel through hostile territory, choose one member of the party to act as trailblazer, one to scout ahead, and one to be quartermaster. Each character with a job to do rolls plus wisdom. On a 10 plus, the quartermaster reduces the number of rations required by 1. So, blah blah blah. The trailblazer reduces the amount of time it takes. The scout will spot any trouble quick enough to let you get the drop on it. That kind of stuff. Travel in Dungeon World is measured in rations, rather than in like days or miles or something like that. So I feel like the journey is about 6 rations from Sanctuary to get to Rookdale. So
6 rations a person.
I believe so. Let me double check.
That would be 6 uses of rations, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because one thing of rations has like 5 uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're good at Dungeon World.
Locations. Yeah, I mean we're all new to this. So, and we said this in episode 1. Like it's gonna,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a little bit of growing pains as we figure it out. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't specify. I'm going to assume it's per person.
Probably.
So I will.
Because we each
actually,
need to consume one.
Yeah, there's 4 of you, and I said it's 6 days. So that's 8. No. Yes. No. 24. Never do math on air.
Oh God.
Probably stock up on ration.
How much is
Basically, we should each get some for ourselves.
Yeah.
how much
To
is
keep
the
it
ration?
simple.
A ration costs an amount of coin.
Yes.
Earworm wax. Adventuring gear.
Dungeon rations?
Dungeon rations. There we go. 3
Coin.
coins
Oh.
Okay.
for 5 uses.
All right. Yeah. Yep. We could
And
all
they
go get our own.
Yeah.
They have 1 weight.
Yeah.
So go ahead and spend your coin as necessary and add that to your inventory. And then who's going to be each of the roles? Or actually, wait, supply. When you go to buy something with gold on hand, if it's something readily available, yeah, you can just buy it in the market price. Okay. You're not buying anything special, so you don't have to do anything fancy. You don't have to like try and make contact with a magical item seller or something. Who's going to be the trailblazer?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Would you say that this is a perilous journey through wilderness?
It is a perilous journey. I don't know if it's technically... I'm assuming there's a move here you want to be triggering.
Yeah, my elf move is that whatever job I take, I succeed as if I rolled a 10 plus.
Gotcha.
When I undertake a perilous journey through wilderness.
Through wilderness.
Anything that's not a road counts.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking a road, I think is the problem
Yeah.
here, because it's not far from Sanctuary to Rookdale. And if you were going toward the forest or something, I might say yeah. Well, here's this. How about I fudge it for you? You'll still roll, and if you roll a 10 plus, you'll get it. But if you roll a miss, I'll give you the 7 to 9 result.
Okay.
Does that
That's
seem
fair.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it's not a major road, because you're not going somewhere super populous.
Yeah.
But it's still more developed than just crossing the plains.
Okay, so there was one to scout ahead, and what did that do?
So the trailblazer can reduce the amount of time it takes to reach your destination.
And the other one makes sure that no one gets a drop on you, right?
Yeah, that's the scout. That's scouting ahead.
Well, I was just gonna ask y'all, what do you think is more important that we do well? Time or make sure that we don't get mugged?
I'd say safety first.
Okay.
I would also say that logically, Rydia would probably do trailblazing here because this is her mission.
Yeah.
Okay. And who would like to be the quartermaster? This person in charge of making sure that everybody gets fed. Nothing breaks.
I mean,
Either of us.
Don't all jump up at once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
eat. Stupid.
Actually, that brings us to a different question, which we didn't go over yet. Adam, you were talking on the break about Gregor's hammer and whether or
Yeah,
not
my
Gregor could
hammer's
repair
loose.
it himself.
Mm-hmm.
That is up to you. Can Gregor make light repairs himself, or is he not that kind of a person?
Well, like I said, he's been in the business for a while. He tries to take care of his stuff and tries to make them last as long as possible. So he is not a blacksmith. He probably could not fix kind of major breakage. But considering that, like, I guess you say the head of the hammer's kind of loose, I feel like that's something he could probably take care of on his own.
Like
He probably has like a few tools at the ready just in case. You know, if he's traveling and he doesn't have access.
all right, makes sense. Yeah, I'll let you clear that yourself, and I think that sort of also implies that in general, Gregor is handy with tools, right? Even if he's not the most skilled person, he's not just a random person.
I am capable.
Yeah. So do you think it would make sense for Gregor then to be the quartermaster for this journey?
Sure, why not? Could be fun.
Could be. Could be a complete
Gregor's
disaster.
like, I volunteer without actually knowing if he'll be any good at this or not.
I know stuff about
Make people eat. What's the worst
Stuff.
that could happen?
You have to hand feed it to us.
Here you go.
no.
Growing boy.
Lied.
Just shoves a ham in your face.
From the chat, Gregor has proficiency in duct tape.
Oh my god, I know so many people just like that. All right, so it sounds like you're traveling through hostile territory, so I'm gonna need the three of you to roll undertake a perilous journey. We'll see how that goes.
Is that a thing?
Is
Pretty
that
wisdom.
Yeah, you can just roll plus wisdom.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Easy.
A 9. A 9.
9.
What is this critical roll?
9. Sorry,
It's okay.
I'm trying to get the dice because I'm bad at roll 20. There we go. A 4.
A 4. Okay.
That's
Well,
It is what it is.
okay. So, well, you were the trailblazer, right?
yep.
It's gonna take a while.
Cool.
So you can you each spend your 6 rations. It takes the same amount of resources to get there because Gregor is like on it with rationing out the food every night. But it's gonna take you an extra day of narrative time. As Rydia, you're... Actually, no, you tell me, why does it take so much longer to get to Rookdale?
Well, what's the weather like, first of all?
That's a good question. Just a second. It was partly cloudy when you left, but...
And also, what's the terrain in that area? Is it mountainous?
the terrain
fields?
is hilly grasslands. So if you
Okay.
look on the map, you're heading west of Sanctuary.
Okay.
So let's see. It was partially cloudy. Then it was sunny. Yeah, it looks like it was sunny for most of your journey.
Okay.
And then on the on the fourth day, it rained.
Are we like around here somewhere?
Uh,
As I ping the map.
I don't see a ping. Ah, yeah. No, it would be more here. I can drop a marker on the map.
That would be helpful.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Roll 20. Map stuff. Map stuff. There we go. And this map stuff. And oh wait, no, I already handled markers when I did campaign prep like a month ago, because I'm not an idiot, except that I forgot. Okay,
We are prepared.
where is totally. It is Thrall token. And a token will show up eventually. Oh, it dropped onto the GM layer. 1 sec.
I was like, I don't see a token.
Layer.
What do you mean?
Stop trying to
Token
hide things
layer.
from me.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right.
Somewhere around here.
Okay. If it rained, I'm gonna say the river flooded a little bit when we were somewhere in this vicinity along the lakes and stuff,
Okay. Yeah.
which
So
meant we had to kind of swing wider.
Yeah. It got muddy, and you weren't used to moving off of the road, and so time was lost.
Yep.
You reach Rookdale, I think, in the evening, and you can see it now as the sun begins to set and drops an orange-red glow across the plains. You crest a hill, and you see a small, sleepy town, made primarily of wood, probably, with angled roofs, and out just past it you can see farm fields stretching for a couple miles. And as you approach, you do not see lights in the windows. What do you do?
Probably slow our pace a little bit and take a look to the others. That's not a good sign, I think.
Agree with you.
We should probably take care as we approach. All right. And we will proceed carefully.
With caution.
So you move into town, and you can see up on the eaves of the houses the ravens from which the town takes its name, and they caw at your passing. The ground here, I think, is still sort of clay-like, excuse me, clay-like and clumpy from the recent rain, but the ruts that one would expect from sort of the main road have filled in, and looking around, you're just met by the cawing of the ravens, the whistle of the wind, and a faint creaking from a sign outside the pub.
Does it look like this place has been abandoned for a while? Or does it look like stuff is just shuttered up?
Think are you studying the area to
Yeah. Taking a pause in the town and taking a look at houses. Are there doors or windows that are left open? or are they all shut and boarded up? Does it look like this was intentional, or people are hiding, or what?
All right, go ahead and roll plus int, I believe that is, for discern realities.
Okay.
7. Okay, you get to ask one question.
All right. What happened here recently?
Ah, that's a good one. So you look around, and as your gaze crosses a puddle in the road, you catch your reflection, and the you can see like your flowing white hair, you can see your armor, but the face is that of a man in his mid-20s, with elfish features, and he says to you from the puddle, "Look around. What here is not what it should be." And then when you blink, it's your reflection. In casting a gaze, you don't see footprints in the mud, but you do see now that like all of the curtains from windows have been taken down and replaced with boards, and out front of the church there is a large iron chain wrapped around the handles to the doors. And yeah. So what happened recently? Not much, honestly. It's been like this for quite some time. But the windows aren't broken, the doors aren't open. You can assume that someone's probably here, but no one's making themselves known.
All right. She's gonna stride on toward the abbey to get a look at that lock.
Okay. So you move up to the door, and I think as you bend down to look at it, you hear, "Psst, wait!
Hmm?
Don't touch that."
Who's there?
And you see a face leaning out from one of the doors to the houses, and there's a human woman who is leaning out, looking at you with she's got like her long black hair and a disheveled braid. There's no good there. She
What's
beckons you
happened?
over.
She'll head over.
She puts a finger to her lips. When you get close, she whispers, "If they hear you, you're as good as dead."
Is there a place we can speak?
She
My
looks
friends
around.
and I came to help.
She steps back from the doorway so that you can walk in. Quick, before the sun's gone.
Rydia will gesture to the others and head inside.
She closes the door behind you, and our camera stays outside, and we can see the door to the abbey buckle briefly. And we're going to go to our final break. So, we're going to step away for a bit, and when we come back, we'll find out, maybe, what has happened to Brookdale and Brookdale Abbey. So, if you're looking forward to that, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Watch us fail some more.
Yeah! Meowing Cat, hello. Welcome back to the final hour of episode 2 of From Dust. You have been ushered into the house of this woman. It's a small hut, probably like just like maybe 2 rooms. Like there's a front area with a table and a stove, and then a door presumably leading to a bedroom. She'll close the door behind you, and then she puts a board over it and takes a hammer and like hammers a nail through the board into the door frame, and then another nail into the door. She like looks like in a crack between 2 of the boards on the window. I think we're okay. She leans back against the door. Why are you here?
We were sent to, I was sent to investigate. We hadn't heard from the church in some time. What's happened here?
You shouldn't have come. It's too late for us.
In what way?
The deacon... Well, it doesn't matter. In the morning you should leave.
It does matter. We didn't come all this way just to turn back around. What has happened here?
Are you asking or are you demanding?
I mean, that's kind of a demand, but
Okay.
nice.
Well, yeah,
A beneficent demand.
sure. So I think that's triggering a move for you.
Sure.
Particularly because you're like leaning on your authority here.
Yup.
Does that sound right to you?
Sure, I can say I am the law, and, you
Yeah.
know, hi, I'm from the church, I'm here to help. Tell me things, please.
So go ahead and roll plus charisma.
Sure.
That's an 8. All right. So they're going to choose one. Do what you
God, I
say.
hope she doesn't attack.
Back away cautiously, then flee or attack you. She is going to do what you say.
Okay.
She shrinks back from your raised voice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, madam. The crops were fallow, and we were desperate. We were desperate. You have to understand. We didn't know this would happen. Any of us. We didn't know.
Stop. There will be no fault placed on you. What has happened here? We're here to help.
We didn't want to die. We knew it was
Nobody
wrong.
does.
But we didn't. The deacon
What did-
found books beneath the church. Books of ritual. Magic that could restore life to the fields. With a cost.
I see.
I knew it was wrong.
They use this magic?
You don't understand. We all did.
see.
Her gaze moves unbidden to the table where you can see 2 chairs that are set up at it. The winters here aren't as kind as they are on the lake or the river. The deacon said no aid would come from the church. We were too small, too insignificant. By the gods, what have we done? She just slumps to the floor.
I see. Where is the deacon?
In the church, where we trapped him. Whatever he is now. That's why you have to leave.
How many more of you are here?
"41. Half of us gone. And for
I
what?
see. Pack your things, be ready to leave.
I can't leave here. None of us
Then you
can.
know. And why is that?
We're all marked. It's just a matter of time. And she pulls the collar of her blouse to the side, and you see a burning red sigil on her collarbone.
Is it familiar at all?
Someone's gonna have to spout lore on this, I think.
Okay.
To know specifically what you're seeing. It's definitely magical. That much is evident. But yeah, does somebody in specific want to spout lore?
I could.
Okay.
I'm good to try.
All right. Well, you'll get
Hello.
have more experience, Arrow.
You know, that's what I'm working. That's what I roll for. The experience.
Okay, let's see.
Arrow
I
is
don't
just here to gain
I don't
experience.
actually want anything out of this. What are you talking about?
So Arrow, you're like, wait, maybe I know. No, I know stuff about the forest, and that's it.
Oh wait. No, I was just thinking of trees again.
I thought it kind of looked like a tree.
It did kind of look like a strange leaf, but then I thought, no, it actually doesn't look like a leaf.
Oh,
It's
Arrow.
the forest.
I rolled and then I realized, like, wait, I have a thing.
You do have a thing. I think that's for stuff about the heroes,
History.
which wouldn't apply here. The mark does not relate to them, so I'll let you rule that out, right? That this does not relate to Asylum. But yeah, you're not sure. This symbol eludes all of you. I'll give you a little bit, in that you can just sort of guess from what she said about the deacon and the other people in the town that the deacon has become a demon. And probably what she's alluding here is that she's not far from that state herself.
Well then. Stay inside.
Of course.
We'll deal with the deacon.
You can't.
Can't I?
He'll kill you.
Maybe.
Rydia will look to the others.
Well, I'm going to try. I don't know about the rest of you. You're not obligated.
Gregor's
keep
gonna
Reminding us
breath.
that we're not obligated.
It's dangerous work. I
Already
can't
here.
turn my eyes from this, even if I wanted to.
Lady, can you give us any intel, any ideas on what fella's capable of?
It was... There was so much blood. Everywhere. It was hard to see. It was like swimming. Every inch of him seemed sharp. Made for death.
Well then. Suppose we prepare ourselves for battle and see what comes.
All right. What would you like to do to prepare for battle? How do you do that?
I really need to figure out how to spells. How to spells.
How to spell?
How to
How to choose them and how that works. So
okay.
So
let's take a look.
I'm a level 1 cleric
Yes.
for
So
the
you
purpose
have
of magic making.
you have all of the rotes because they're like cantrips, right?
Yeah.
And I mean you still roll for them and you can lose them for the day, but they don't count towards your spell slots. As a level 1 cleric, you get. Nope, those are the advances. Okay, commune. Granted new spells of your choice whose total levels don't exceed your own level plus 1. So you can have 2 level 1 spells at the moment.
Okay. 2 level 1 spells, cool.
Yes.
That was the thing I was trying to figure out, was how many
And you
I
don't.
could have.
Whereas in D&D you cast from a spell slot and then you expend it, so you might want to memorize multiple. In Dungeon World, that's not how it works. In Dungeon World, you have a number of spells that are discrete spells, and you have them for the day, and when you roll to cast them, there's a chance that you lose them.
Okay. So you just have them and maybe...
Yeah, and maybe you expend that for the day.
Alright.
Yep.
Cool.
So go ahead and pick 2 spells from the first level list, which if you're looking at the book or the PDF is on page 97.
Yep. I can't seem to find the rotes in there.
The rotes are on the... Oh, on the compendium?
Yeah, I couldn't find the rotes in the compendium, but spells are in there.
Light...
Unless...
Yeah, it's the light spell, Sanctify, which is also in there, and Guidance,
Okay.
which symbol of your deity appears before you and gestures toward the direction or course of action your deity would have you take them, and disappears. Okay. Interesting. So it's like, GM, point me in a direction.
Point me to things.
And then light is exactly what it is always.
Sure. It's a light spell. Hooray.
And then sanctify, food or water you hold in your hands while you cast the spell is consecrated by your deity. In addition to now being holy or unholy, the affected substance is purified of any mundane spoilage.
Neat. Oh, and I see them now. They're in Roll20. They're listed as level 0.
Yeah.
That's not confusing. Alright.
Thanks, Adam. I'm gonna blame him because he works for Roll20, so... Well, not this Adam. Adam Coble, the designer of Dungeon World, to clarify. I just realized that could be confusing.
What did I do?
Wrong Adam.
It's all your fault, Gregor. How dare you.
Thanks,
it's always
man.
Adam's fault.
Yeah. Okay, so does
Alright.
anyone else have a thing that they do to prepare for combat with this unknown creature? Do you want to, like, does anyone want to spout lore on the demon?
Hell yeah. I'm
Oh,
here for that XP.
Who spout
When you
lore is
know. Wouldn't you know?
okay.
Is that another tree?
Take an experience point. Does anyone... What's your intelligence?
My intelligence?
Yeah, Arrow's specifically, not yours, Summer.
Mine?
To clarify here.
Mine is a 9.
Modifier 1.
Okay.
So not terrible.
Does anyone have better than a 1 in the group?
Oh.
Okay.
We're
I
not
was just
very
curious
smart.
if there's a slightly better meta choice in the party moving forward.
I am very smart.
Don't worry, when Rydia dies, I'll roll wizard, okay?
Spread some of that experience to other
I'm
players
also-
in the party.
I'm also a 1 there, so like
Oh
We're
jeez.
Why are we so stupid?
We're equally smart.
No, it's fine. Okay.
I count my arrows.
All right. What about Gregor and Farron? What do you do to prepare?
And Gregor's probably dealt with a lot of humanoids, animals, maybe, monsters even. But, like, once we start getting into this realm, it's a bit outside his wheelhouse. But, Gregor will think
Yeah.
if, like, maybe Rolf ever shared a story over a beer or anything that might be cool.
I have some bad news for you.
Okay.
The story that Rolf would have shared with you over a beer about a demon would have been this one time he was part of a mercenary company before he started his own, and everyone was torn apart in the middle of the wilderness by a demon that had gotten loose. So, yeah.
Cool.
Gregor's gonna, like, stare forward and think and just go, I got nothing.
Right then. Okay,
Farron.
good.
Farron looks a little apprehensive about this whole situation. Must we really go and fight this thing? Do we even really know it's a demon? It could be something else. Besides, how to say that it's out of rationality, out of speaking with.
You are not obligated. Do as you will. But I'm going.
To fight it.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about just letting somebody walk in there without any form of backup. So no, I don't have obligations, but feelings of companionship, perhaps.
As you say.
Just perhaps we don't need to immediately jump into trying to kill it. I feel like there may be some interesting information that we may be able to glean else.
You would like to parley with a demon, perhaps?
Well, perhaps that, or just,
That-
honest.
That is not a thing that you do.
How do you know? Have you fought demons?
Yes, I have.
Have you tried speaking with any of them?
Why would you?
Because sometimes conflict and fighting is not always the right choice.
If you try to pause and speak politely to a demon, you might get 2 words out before they have cut you in half and you are dead.
Farron, it might not be the right choice always, but sometimes it is.
Right.
Same people. At least not anymore.
Exactly.
Well, I will defer to all of your judgment, then. If to not at least fight the thing, I will try to help all of you. Yes?
It is also a kindness. Killing them, that is. You can't go back from being a demon. At least not that I've ever seen.
The woman in the room is just sort of sitting in the corner,
She's
staring
like,
into the middle distance.
What a good
Outside,
conversation to have with her right there. Poor lady.
outside, you hear a scratching noise of something like the sound of splintering wood. It's time.
So it is. Well then,
The others. Can you make it quick?
I shall do my best.
Thank you.
Are we ready?
As ready as we can be.
Open that door and step on out.
All right.
Follow immediately after.
Bow
You-
drawn.
You step out into the moonlit square of the town, up above a raven cause at the sudden movement. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess we attack it.
The darkness.
Yeah.
All right. Cast magic missile.
We stride forth, and well, she glows, so it's not that dark around her.
Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely glowing.
She's a good target.
That's for sure.
Come hit me.
Looking at the abbey, the chain is still wrapped around the handles, but in the darkness you can't make much else out about your surroundings without like taking a good look and investigating.
Well, go and take a peek at that lock again, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you step forward and you examine the lock. I think that's a discern realities, right? Because you're investigating.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Let's see. Discern realities with
Whatever it usually is.
wisdom.
Let me see. Yep. A 9.
9.
All right. You get to ask a question.
Okay.
Choose wisely.
Are they hot? No.
Is the lock hot?
Is the demon deacon beyond the door presumably hot? No, that is absolutely not the question.
I would be happy to answer.
No, that's okay. What here is not what it appears to be.
What here is the houses behind you are not as boarded up and locked down as you previously thought they were.
Okay.
Oh.
You can take +1 forward when acting on that answer.
Okay. So yeah, Rydia will be taking a look at the lock, but also she'll just kind of get a bit of a sense behind her and glance back.
Yeah, and looking at the houses, you can see one of the houses there. The door is just open, and it's like sort of flapping in the wind.
Arrow. She'll gesture to that house. Keep an eye.
Yeah, he will.
So, shall we open the doors?
Do you have a rogue at the party?
Nope. But we
You have a
big
very
weapons.
willing player.
You have a battering ram.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like with enough force, Gregor and I can hack it. Literally.
Would you like to? Yeah, you can actually. We should try and use this aid move a little more often since you keep rolling low.
Let's
So-
help each other, friends.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to help Gregor make a move?
Sure.
Okay. Well, when you help or hinder someone, roll plus bond with them. On a 10+, they take a +1 or a -2 to their roll, your choice. On a 7 to 9, they still get a modifier, but you also expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. So, Rydia, go ahead and roll aid.
Okay. Is that a skill that I should have on here, but I don't?
It's it'll just be 2d6 plus bond. So I think it's +1 because you only have one bond with Gregor.
Okay. I was very confused how that bond thing went.
Yeah, that's also part of why I'm like letting y'all accumulate new bonds.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, that's mark experience.
God damn it.
Good lord.
I just need a macro. I need a macro for mark experience.
You know,
that's gonna be the 2 new stickers going to the store.
Let's
are
just-
mark experience.
do we need dice to play this game? Do we really? Can we just talk words?
Yeah, I'm not into dice lists. So Gregor, you do not get a +1.
Okay.
And Rydia, you are going to be exposing
tried.
yourself to danger, but I'm going to wait
Cool.
to see how Gregor's.
I thought you just put me in danger.
I tried.
So, you're gonna try and break down the store, Gregor?
Absolutely.
All right, go for it. A 7. Okay, choose 2.
I'm gonna choose nothing of value is damaged,
Smart.
and honestly, I'm not that worried about stealth right now. So I'll say it doesn't take very long.
Okay, so you several things happen at once.
Oh boy.
Gregor and Rydia, you pull back to like slam into this door and bust through it. Arrow, keeping an eye out on the houses, you see a pair of bright red eyes gleaming on the rooftop of the house that Rydia pointed out. You can see a shadow of a vaguely humanoid form with a pair of horns twisting off of their forehead.
Shoot it.
In hold on. In multiple spirals. You raise your bow, right, to shoot as the two Rydia and Gregor crash through the door and slide on a pool of congealed blood. And Rydia, you like catch yourself on your knees and like slide down the pews a little bit and find yourself face to face with a long, probably like 5-foot long spike with a decaying body impaled upon it. You do not, however, see directly to your left the demon that has just been alerted to your presence, and you are going to take damage as it attacks you.
Cool.
So it's going to deal, let's see, 1d10 plus 3.
Oh, okay.
How much armor do you have?
2.
Ouch.
Okay, so it has 3 piercing, so you take the full damage.
Okay. That's exciting.
As Gregor, you like catch yourself and stumble, watching Rydia slide down the aisle, and from the darkness you see like an 8-foot tall, hunched, muscular creature covered in spines along its back, and its tail just whips around and pierces Rydia through probably like the lower chest. And it just goes through her back and out the other side.
Yep, and that was probably an ugly sounding gasp because I think she got that wind punctured out of her.
Yeah. There's a gurgling sound that comes from Rydia. Meanwhile, Arrow, you wanted to shoot the thing outside?
Yeah, I was wondering, do I have enough? Would you say that I am surprising this?
I don't.
Is it enough to be a called shot?
Well, you can call a shot whenever you want, can't you?
No, it has to be either defenseless or surprised.
I think they are defenseless.
For me to call the shot.
Defenseless means they can't respond to your attack. This demon that you're shooting at doesn't have any ranged attacks, so.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to use my cold shot move and shoot
Okay.
it.
All right. What does that look like? That's an 8, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So what does it look like when arrow like seriously takes aim on a shot?
Honestly, like, I think that it probably wouldn't be noticeable to anyone who wasn't trained with a bow,
Mm-hmm.
but there's just like this split second more that he spends like really focusing in.
Mm-hmm.
And so like somebody who was trained would just see that slight difference, that momentary pause as he takes aim.
I think we get like a slow-mo shot as you raise your bow and like set to anchor, and whereas normally we just see you like doing the Legolas thing of just flinging tons of arrows at a thing, we see you stop and everything slows down. We hear like your breath as you breathe out, and then the sound of the arrow loosed. What are you aiming at?
I am aiming at the legs.
Okay, so your arrow flies through the air. Time speeds back up. We catch back up as this arrow pierces the creature's foot, and you hear like a wooden thunk as the arrow buries itself in the wood of the roof. You hear behind you at the same time. I think the Rydia being wounded and the arrow landing happened at the same time, and so from your other ear behind you, you can hear Rydia take an attack. Farron, you have been sort of like not occupied by either of these things. What do you do?
I just see this chaos happen very quickly. But upon seeing Lydia get very badly wounded, gonna quickly fling out my loot.
Oh no, you're going to die.
This is literally that meme of like battle happening in the bar. It's just like
pluck a couple of things.
Yep.
As I weave magic. Heal, please.
All right, your spell still works, but you draw unwanted attention, or your magic reverberates to other targets affecting them as well. You are drawing unwanted attention. So you heal Rydia for 4, and there's a wet sucking sound as the spine is removed, or the spine, not like bone-wise, but like the demon's spine is pulled from Rydia, and you just see its baleful red eyes turn to you, and this mouth that goes straight from like jaw to jaw opens up to reveal like hundreds of teeth, and it's going to rush you.
Ah, lovely.
Rydia, you feel like the internal bleeding is healed, so you're not like breathing blood right now.
Cool.
But you like stumble backwards onto your elbow and like try to slide up through the muck to your feet. Gregor, this demon is charging right past you. What do you do?
It's like trying to charge past me. I would like to just like try and baseball bat swing like right into those things' teeth.
Is your intent primarily to harm it or to keep it from Farron?
Mostly to keep it from Farron.
I think that's a
and-
defense action then.
Okay.
I get to heal, right?
Yeah, you healed those 4.
Okay.
An 8. Okay, so you get hold 1. So long as you stand in defense, when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend hold 1 for 1 to choose an option, have the attack's effect or damage, open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally +1 forward against the attacker, or deal damage to the attacker equal to your level.
Well, I'm level 1, so
So that's not real good right now.
I'll just try and like reduce the damage.
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna attack Farron as Rydia gets back to her feet. And you can see Rydia as you get a hold of yourself, this huge looming form silhouetted in the doorway of the church. Let me roll damage and it will be halved. Roll low. Nice. Gregor's defense is effective, Farron. As you sing, this thing charges you, and you're like, I'll be fine, and then it gets really close. Never mind. And Gregor, with this surge of strength, swings with his hammer and catches it in like its abdomen, and it rears back and only grazes you with the tip of its tail as it slashes a deep gouge across your shoulder. So you take 3 damage. Rydia, what would you like to do?
Okay.
You have your wits about you now.
Yeah. What do I know about dealing with demons other than hit them very hard?
Go ahead and spout lore.
All right.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Probably nothing if we're spouting lore.
A 7. Okay. I'll tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful.
Okay.
Interesting. I'll give you something about demons in general, I guess. What is something interesting but not inherently useful? This is actually surprisingly hard as the GM, because like I just want to give you stats or like it can be hurt by this thing. Something interesting. It's primarily attacking with its tail.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
All right.
And that's something that you can tell, but in order to like recall your past knowledge of studying about demons, you're gonna need a less stressful situation.
Sure. All right. With that bit of knowledge, then I guess I will attack the tail and try to pin it with my halberd.
Okay. I think that might be like aiding.
Is that like? Is that like interfere? Because I'm kind of trying to prevent it from doing things.
Interfere makes sense. Yeah. I think that's right. So you're gonna roll +0, I guess. And see what happens.
Okay.
A 7. Okay. They're going to take the -2, but you will expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. You're going to expose yourself to retribution here.
All right,
Like,
yeah, she's going to run up and
stab
it in there.
It's now like realizing it's fighting on multiple fronts, and it's bigger than each of you. So it turns to you, and it doesn't look scared. It looks annoyed. And it is going to attack you. But wait, NPCs don't make rolls. So can you give it a -2? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I think what I want you to do here is
That's with someone you have a bond with, so
yeah.
maybe that doesn't work.
Yeah, I think you can aid one of your friends in that way.
I mean,
like you can choose
alternatively,
to
I'm
give...
cool with hack and slashing for the sake of doing damage to it.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly narratively trying to pin it, I guess.
Yeah, sure thing. But you're swinging with the blade of the halberd.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like trying to stab it and
Just chop it off.
keep it pinned to the floor, or
Okay.
just whatever happens.
All right, swing for it. We'll see. Nice. You deal your damage to the enemy and avoid their attack. At your option, you may choose to do +1d6 damage, but expose yourself to the enemy's attack.
Sure. Why the hell not?
Hell yes.
I make everybody panic.
Please roll +1d6.
Yep.
And I am going to roll damage.
Okay. So I roll damage.
Okay.
And I need that 1d6 because Jesus fucking Christ, that's
Well, you
bad.
already. Oh, right. You roll class damage. That's
Yeah.
how that works. Okay. So. Where's your +1 from on the damage?
Hmm.
You have
I don't know.
It says equipped weapon. Does your...
Maybe that's it.
Oh, is that a... Oh, I bet that's a thing from... Because you picked halberd and not, like, sword or something. It's been a while since I looked at the character creation
I
stuff
guess.
for Paladin. Paladin gear... Halberd, yeah, +1 damage.
Okay.
Two-handed. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So you deal 6
yeah.
damage. And it is going to deal... 8 damage to you.
Okay, that's fine.
You swing into the tail, and you do like get it stuck into the ground as your halberd bites into the wood flooring, but it turns around and just swipes with this hand that's bigger than your head, and tosses you to the side. You're gonna like smack your head against the doorway as you're just bounced off of it.
Yep. Okay.
Arrow, it's been a while since you acted. What would you like to do?
Arrow spins on his heel,
Mhm.
and we see that like other like short pause. And I'm going to aim for the head on this bad boy, the one that's attacking the other 3.
All right.
That's fun. Don't worry
You
about
missed
me.
the mark entirely. Yeah. So mark experience.
Yeah.
That's the other sticker. The arrow flies past the demon, and it ignores you.
Party.
Meanwhile, behind you, the demon that you stapled to the roof pulls the arrow free. Farron. Things aren't looking so great. What would you like to do?
Yeah, these things are not super cool right now.
Running is totally an option.
Yeah. But
Look, I don't want to redraw everybody. I kid.
yes, Farron's gonna try one more thing. At least. How's Gregor doing?
Gregor's fine.
Gregor's fine. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna after kind of like ducking after the second like graze is like ouch. Still gonna have the lute out, still gonna hum a little. As focus is they're kind of magic-y fireflies over to Gregor, where he's gonna get a 1. Yeah.
Oh!
You get a plus 1d4 forward to damage.
Ooh.
Damn! You don't get anything on the 10 plus, do you? I don't think you do.
Nope, there's just you get the selected effect, that's all.
God damn.
So you get a plus 4 to your
Heck
damage
yeah!
next time around, Gregor.
That was 2 crits in a row. That was you rolled a crit on the arcane art and on the damage, or on
Yep.
the d4.
Damn. Okay.
So basically you see like the fireflies kind of turn this reddish glow as they kind of
Gregor,
head over
this
to Gregor.
this energy is swirling around your hammer now. What would you like to do?
Gonna like glance around for a second, glance at the hammer, and just look at the demon and kind of grin as I do like a round upward swing, like try to get it like right under the jaw.
All right. Go for it.
Get that
Yeah.
momentum up in there too.
Ooh.
Boom.
All right, you deal your damage, and the enemy makes an attack against you.
Okay.
So go ahead and deal your damage.
Plus 4.
Ew. Hiya.
8 plus 4, that's 12. Hot
That's
damn.
cool.
And then
Pretty good.
modified by armor. Okay. You crack it upside the head, and it like falls back against the doorway of the church and writhes, pulling its tail free from Rydia's halberd and thrashing out at you. So you're going to take D10 plus 3. How much armor do you have?
2.
Okay, so yeah, it pierces through that just fine.
Okay.
It thrashes and like almost like a like a wounded snake, right, trying to break free, and just like piles up against the doorway, and in its thrashing, it catches you with the tail and sends you careening into the interior of the church, where you are going to take those 12 points of damage between the tail and just crashing through a couple rows of pews. Yeah, I think we see you like in a broken pew with you've got like a chunk of wood sticking out of your thigh.
The worst splinter.
Rydia, you're forced back by
Yep.
this creature. What do you do?
Well,
It's got sort of this this opaque black ichor oozing out of it in several places now.
okay. I mean, I'm thinking of something that might be total bullshit.
Uh-oh.
Is the state of being a demon considered a disease?
No, it is
Darn.
not, unfortunately.
Ah.
I don't want to accidentally heal this motherfucker, so I'm not gonna use lay on hands.
No,
But it was a thought.
Yeah, I mean they take less from they don't heal as much from holy staff, but I don't think you have like a smite or anything that deals damage yet, do you?
Nope.
All right.
All right, well, I'll hit it some more. That's about all I got in me.
Heft the halberd, swing. Oh my. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Yep, cool. Bye, guys.
Well,
Please
Okay.
don't die.
so your halberd cleaves into its chest, and you've like got it against the doorway, and you're pushing through, trying to like bisect this demon, and it reaches out, and it's going to deal its damage. I will remind you that death in Dungeon World is not always permanent, so there's a chance, even if you do go to 0, that you don't die.
No.
I am now very stressed out.
Just do it.
You take 9?
Yep. That puts me at -1.
Okay, so you're at 0, I think, technically.
Uh-huh.
We see it reach out with its huge hand and grab onto your head, and then we don't see what happens because its hand covers the whole of her head, but we maybe hear what happens as Rydia drops limp to the church floor. Arrow, what would you like to do? This thing is like Rydia's halberd is still holding it pinned to the
Yeah.
doorway.
I just really don't want to get snuck up on by this other bitch. That's the problem. I really don't want to be trapped on both sides. So he's going to turn back around from that horrific scene, and I'm going to just shoot straight up, just try and hit this other stupid head.
All right.
Right in the head. Yay! Oh, bless.
Ooh. Roll your damage.
Okay, everybody cross your fingers that this is a lot.
Mm.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right.
Two things too.
It's after it pulled the arrow free, it jumped down from the roof, and it was running on all fours toward you, and it's maybe 10 feet away. It leaps, and your arrow just catches it right between the eyes, and it like flips backward in the air and slides on its back, dead to your feet.
Oh, thank God.
Farron, what would you like to do?
This is not good.
No.
This
That
is bad, not good. Fuck. This is a moment of like, what does Kiana want to do? What does Farron want to do?
Mm.
Do what Farron wants to do. I wouldn't be dead if I did what Jess wanted to do.
Yeah. Farron's gonna book it.
He's gonna run.
Shout. Well, yeah. Farron kind of just like looks just sees this happen to Rydia,
Okay.
and just kind of looks at assessing everything, knowing that they can't do that much damage.
Okay.
Be like, we should go. And that's just like the most serious any of Gregor has definitely heard them be.
You are still within the creature's reach, so like it hisses as it's impaled on this doorway and swings with the tail as you try and back away. So that's if you want to avoid that damage, that's going to be a defy danger. I assume. How are you going to avoid the damage? What's your plan there?
I would like to just get out of the way fast.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
All right, yeah, you can roll. You like do a side roll down the stairs underneath, and stone splinters off of the edifice of the church where the tail impacts it. Gregor, this thing is between you and the exit. You can see Rydia's form on the ground, the shallowest of breaths. What do you do?
I like glance at Rydia, see Farron trying to get out of there, seeing this thing trying to get at him, and tell him. And I guess at this point you said I was kind of like smashed onto some pews, right?
Yeah.
Would it cost me anything to get up?
No.
Okay, so like get up, see this thing kind of clawing at Farron. What stat would I use to throw my head?
That's a really good question.
I'd like strength.
I mean, it takes strength to swing it. Why would it not take strength to throw it?
I'll let you roll with strength. I'm gonna give you a -1. Does that
Cool.
seem fair? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just like toss this hammer overhead.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like, Gregor's gonna steady himself and just like try and just send this thing sailing. I'm gonna feel really stupid if this
If it misses, you'll get experience though. Roll your damage.
right? Oh, actually, oh no, that is hammered. Whoop. Yeah.
Would you like? Actually, I should have asked. Do you want to take the plus d6? I'll let you roll it now if you want to.
I'll do the plus d6.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
So, your hammer soars through the air, spinning end over end, and the demon hears this whooshing sound and turns back to you to hiss, and then its face is crunched inward by the head of your hammer. And where it was like pulling at Rydia's halberd and writhing, it falls limp. Its head drops and your hammer falls out of it with a sound and clanks onto the ground. And the night is still. Rydia, please roll with no modifiers.
Sure. 2d6, 1d6.
2d6.
All right.
You lucky son of a bitch. All right. You we see the three of you, Farron down at the bottom of the stairs, Arrow maybe halfway down them with a bow in hand. Inside, Gregor, and we hear a howling wind pouring through the town. And Rydia, you Our camera moves toward you and then fades to black. And we hear a voice say, "Hello, darling. Think we got some talking to do." And we're at 9. We're going to end the session there. So, let's do end of session.
Wee.
When you reach the end of the session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved, completely explored, no longer relevant, or otherwise. Do any of you feel you have a resolved bond? No? Alright. Do you have any bonds you want to change? Because that would count as resolving. If it's like this doesn't apply to us anymore and it needs to be something else. Oh yeah, Ethan, I'm gonna make you wait 2 weeks. I'm a monster. I'm the real demon here.
See, that gives me 2 weeks to think about a new character. And draw them, probably.
I kind of do, but I don't know. I don't know what I would change it to necessarily.
Okay. I want to think about that on the break between sessions, and
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay. Did we learn something new and important about the world today?
Demons
Demons
hurt.
are fucking strong.
Demons suck, dude.
Demons are
Also,
fucking
they're
rough.
real. Who fucking knew? Heard about them. Never left the woods before. Can't say I've ever seen one.
I think we could also say that the church is not just willing but compelled in some sense to confiscate Eldrin's stuff that Rydia acquires. That as a GM, I would say that's an important piece of information that should maybe be in your notes.
Sure.
Did you overcome a notable monster or enemy? Yes. So you all can mark XP for both of those.
Woo!
Purdy McGee.
Did you loot a memorable treasure?
I mean, when I take the barbed wire off this demon's tail, maybe, but
I don't think you got
Yeah.
anything
Nah.
today. So no XP for that. Yeah, okay. And then we already handled knives today. Everybody made their bonds for those, right? Okay. Oh, actually, that was a thing that I wanted to do with Rydia. Did we cover your relationship with the Legata? Because that was a
We didn't say it in so
nice
many
moment.
words, but it was very heavily implied that she's constantly trying to recruit Rydia.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and make a new bond with Legata Josephine Lores, who is now in your journal. And for those of you viewing at home, I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the journal on Roll20. I'm doing pretty bare bones for the entries, but that'll be a way for you to check out what's written for these characters. And if you forget a name and you want to look it up without having to sift through an episode, that'll be a way for you to do that. And I'll share that on the Discord. Which, if you're watching this on YouTube, you should really watch live so you can catch that Discord link and hop in and talk with us about this stuff and scream about how hot Arrow is without his shirt. But yeah, okay. I think that covers our XP stuff. I'm sorry. I'm like super frazzled after that. That was hella stressful. Let's do shoutouts. Let's do.
really? Jess is like, really?
I don't
For who?
look. I talk a mean game, but I don't like killing player characters.
I literally
know.
give 0 shits.
I give multiple shits.
Me too.
All right.
It's fine.
Let's
I ain't
do shoutouts. Summer, what are you doing for the next 2 weeks? Where can people find you?
Well,
Curl up
easiest
and
way to
die.
easiest way to find out what I'm doing is by following me on Twitter, just a summer job. Tomorrow we're going to be playing Lady Blackbird. Kiana and Jess will both be there. It's an all lady cast, and we gender swapped all of the characters to all be ladies. It's going to be great. And we do a lot of stuff on Off the Table. We'll be playing D&D on Monday. We'll be playing Burning Wheel on Wednesday. I'll be over on Scratch Channel with Kiana for birthday stuff on Thursday. And then Friday, I don't know what's happening yet. Stay tuned. We'll figure it out. Like I said, Twitter. Just go be there. I don't know my schedule.
That's fair. I don't.
That's what calendars are for.
Exactly.
That's exactly what calendars are for. And Katie. That's what Katie's for.
Oh, wow. Rude.
Goodness.
Well, it's not all she's for, but that is one of the things that she does for me.
Important clarification.
That's one very important thing she does for me. And be my best friend.
Jess.
Sorry. I guess.
Whatever.
Hey man, Rydia's reckless as fuck. I'm just playing it true.
Sure, it'll be fine.
We'll see if she's back next week or if I have a new face to join the game. It'll be fine. I don't care anyway. Yeah, episode 2. That's a new record. Yeah, I'm Jess, Little Cup of Joe on Twitter and Twitch. You can hang out with me tomorrow on Off the Table at Summer's channel. Like she said, we're going to play Lady Blackbird, where I play the suave and debonair and kind of an asshole Captain Vance. Who may or may not have a thing for Lady Blackbird. I will also be streaming on my Twitch channel more Hakuoki gaming, so if you like samurai, you like vampires, and you like smooching, you'll get 2 of those 3 things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I am also doing other D&D things, and you can probably find out about it on Twitter. Because there's a lot.
Awesome. Kiana.
Oh, that was fun.
Look, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I was like,
okay?
oh, Farron got drunk, got to do their thing, and then ran away from battle. I mean, I was literally like, they don't want to fight. They don't like conflict. Oh God. So, they're trying their best. They're alive. I'm happy with that. But yeah, I'm Kiana. You guys can find me over on Twitter at KianaS. The best way to figure out what I'm doing at any given point, because I am all over the internet across the week. I play all sorts of games, from D&D to Cthulhu to, this, obviously. One thing I will plug, for sure, is that next Thursday, on August 2nd, from 6 to midnight, p.m. Eastern, is my birthday charity stream. I'm turning 21, and we're going to be raising some money for Childhood Cancer Canada. So definitely check us out over on Squaticus's channel. We're going to do some fun games, probably do some silly stretch goals, all that fun stuff. Summer will be there. So yeah, definitely check us out.
My bad.
Help me celebrate another year around the sun by raising some money for a good cause.
Awesome. Fantastic. And last but certainly not least, Gregor, Adam, what are you up to?
Hey, so you guys want to follow me on Twitter? That's where I post most of my game-related, D&D-related, voiceover-related stuff. At AdamRoVO. And I will plug my YouTube channel, which actually has a real link now. So you can just youtube.com/AdamRo, and I primarily talk about very behavioral aspects of D&D, just certain things you can do that can improve the experience for you and others. And a recent video I just made is I talk about vulnerability in performing and role-playing, how being open with yourself in that regard and harnessing that can actually really heighten the experience. But it can also be kind of a difficult thing to do. I kind of go both sides. And I'm going to be traveling a lot the next couple of weeks. I'm going to Maine briefly, then I'm going to California and getting married. So that's pretty cool.
Big congrats to you, dude. All
Very
right.
exciting.
Well, that's our episode tonight. We will be back in 2 weeks, probably. For follow me on Twitter at Anarthus to keep up with the scheduling for this show. We will be back probably on the 11th. I also have a Patreon where you can help support the show, but also get RPG stuff like maps and portrait token borders. Actually, the map that we're using for this show, along with all the tokens on it, are a set that I made for Patreon a while back that you can find now on Roll20. That's under Dylan Grinder. My Patreon is under, yeah, it's in chat right there. Check that out. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to the 4 of you for playing and poking not just at this strange world that I've made, but also at each other and having such deeply interesting interactions. I'm very excited to see where things go next and how you all deal with whatever happens at the beginning of episode 3. Yeah, I am at somewhat of a loss for words, so thank you all again, but most importantly, have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night.